Every morning, my savings shrink. Today, the countdown says 147 days left. Would you risk everything for a dream? Have you ever felt stuck in a job you hate, but too afraid to leave because of money? Drop a comment if you've ever faced that fear. You're not alone, and I'd love to hear your story. 3 months ago, I thought I was secure: corporate salary, benefits, the whole package. But after 15 years of climbing, I realized I'd been scaling the wrong building. That quiet voice inside kept asking, is this really it? Each promotion felt emptier. Each meeting drained something from me. Then came the breaking point. It was a Tuesday, another lifeless meeting, another 30 minutes of my life I'd never get back. I was dying a slow death by PowerPoint. That night I did the math. Trading time for money I barely had time to spend meant sacrificing everything that actually mattered. So I made a decision that scared everyone around me. I walked away. The truth is, taking a leap of faith doesn't mean you know the whole path. It just means you take the first step. My first step, admitting I had no idea what I was doing. Month 1, panic. Month 2, planning. By month 3, something shifted. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was building something that mattered. Drop a comment if you've ever felt that shift from survival to purpose. Let's celebrate those moments together. Here's what they don't tell you. Entrepreneurship isn't all wins and highlight reels. It's 3 a.m. overthinking, rejection emails that sting, and pretending you've got it figured out when deep down, you're still learning. The difference between those who make it and those who don't, it's not talent, it's not luck, it's accountability. Most people give up when the excitement fades because they're rebuilding in isolation. I learned this the hard way. You cannot rebuild your life alone. Every person I admire who made a major change, they had support. That's why I created the Rebuild Blueprint, not just to document my journey, but to build a space where we can rebuild together. Start your rebuild with accountability. So, where do you begin? First, be honest about where you are and where you want to go. Second, define your non-negotiables. For me, it was my values and time with my family. Everything else was flexible. Third, find your accountability partner, someone who sees through the excuses and calls you forward. Comment, rebuild if you're ready to find yours in this space. 6 months ago, I was counting down to a crash. Now I'm counting up toward possibilities I never imagined. Not because I'm special, but because I stopped waiting for permission to change. Every win, every failure, every moment of doubt, I'm sharing it here. So you know, you're not rebuilding alone. Maybe your countdown is 47 days. Maybe it's 347. But every day you delay is a day you don't get back. What are you really waiting for? The perfect moment? More money? Permission? That perfect moment? It doesn't exist. But this one right here is yours. If you're ready to stop waiting and start rebuilding, subscribe, hit the bell, and remember, start your rebuild with accountability. Drop a comment if you're ready to begin. Every morning, my savings shrink.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome everybody. It's another beautiful Friday. Today is 29th of August 2025, and we've got a fantastic show for you all. Shout out to all my real fam. How you guys doing? I believe you are all having a blast all the way from UK to America to Canada and motherland Africa. You're all welcome. Please do me a favor as you come in the studio, hit the like if you can. Help me get the likes up so fast that we go a long way. I have a guest in the studio today that we're going to be rubbing minds together. Actually, she is your friend. She is member of the Real Fam. She is my own sister, my Basbo sister. Like I always said, she is the accountability professor herself. But today I'm bringing her in the capacity of a professional because we've spoke about this particular episode all through last week and early this week. We said we're going to talk about corporate life, boss lady, the challenges women have to withstand as they navigate their career choices, as well as managing the home. And I do believe that there is no better person who can actually help us make this make sense more than our sister who have had years of experience under her belt. As at the last time I count, she got like 15 years in the corporate world, and now she is doing it as an entrepreneur. So, if you listen to this episode, it's gonna go a long way to help you guys. The person I'm bringing to you today, ladies and gentlemen, is actually my sweet sister. I call her my fantastic honey babe sister. Her official name is Anne Marie Ailara, and she brings over 20 years of experience in investment banking to our show today. All right. She has played the role as a co-founder and director of Property Table, which is what she's doing right now. Her impressive career spanned global financial institutions such as Lehman Brothers, Citigroup, Northern Rock, and Credit Suisse. I don't know if I'm calling that right, but anyway, she's gonna set all that straight for us in a minute. She's gathered a lot of experience. She has held supervisory and managerial roles in cash management, reconciliations, and transitions. You know, the financial expertise give her a sharp understanding of cash flow and strategic financial planning, which she now channels into property investment. And if you're wondering who am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the one and only, the one with the spicy voice, a fantastic sister, aka Honey Babe, aka Ability Prefect. What's up, Mama? You're welcome to the show.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mama.
Hello, Will fam. How's everybody? It's me, Honey Babe. Nice to meet everyone.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, my sister.
Thank you.
Yeah, you and I, we're going to have this conversation for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. So, everybody, if you are watching right now, today's show, we come with 3 segments. The first segment, we're going to talk about boss lady and corporate life. And I'm looking forward to Honey Babe, as well as my other sisters who are in the corporate world to help us make it make sense. So we're going to talk about boss lady and corporate life as a woman. What does it look like? So Honey Babe going to walk us through that. And then we're going to, move forward. And in the second segment, we have to consider what does it mean being a boss lady, living a corporate life, and at the same time managing a relationship. What are the ups and downs? We'll consider all that. And in the last segment, we're going to talk about every other thing that has to do with property, buying investment property in the UK. And finally, we will have the Q&A segment where you can actually ask questions. You can ask any question from Honey Babe. So far, the question is related to the topic that we are considering today. Okay, without much ado, Honey Babe, I was trying to do a fantastic introduction, but I don't think I did a very good job.
No,
So
you did. It was really good. Thank you.
let me allow you to formally introduce yourself to us.
Okay.
Who is Honey Babe?
Okay, Honey Babe, aka my name is Anne Marie and it's Ailawa, which is obviously a Nigerian name. I'm based in Essex. I have over 15 years experience in the investment banking world. And yeah, I just made the transition. I think it was last year, December stroke this year, January, to leave my corporate life and rebuild again. And basically I'm going into, self-employment, starting a business. And yeah, it's challenging and it's enjoyable at the same time. So about me, I actually have a degree in economics and politics. And the plan was to actually work for the civil servant. I was very vocal in terms of politics and political arena. And I now thought that it would be great to work in politics. Then I now found out after I graduated that a lot of the civil service jobs at the time I graduated, they don't pay very well. So I was like, I'm not doing that. So I ended up, a friend of mine said, why don't you contract in a bank? And I decided, okay, sounds good. And I started contracting when I finished university. And I never went back. And I basically worked for a lot of retail companies. And then I eventually was working in Lehman Brothers, Credit Suisse, Northern Rock, Northern Trust. And recently, my last role was with Citibank. So I've worked for quite a lot of investment companies and brokerage companies as well.
Oh, wow. That is impressive. That is
Yeah.
funny, babe. No wonder you give me a lot of buzz boost here.
Do I?
You have been in the corporate world for too long.
I have.
Time you are always ready. Okay, bring it. I'm ready. That's a very fantastic one. Guys, please help me give it up for our sweet honey babe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy to actually have people with experience come forward to share with us. So please help me give honey babe her flowers. All right, before we move on deeply, let me quickly recognize our real fam. Shout out to everyone who made it to today's show this early. I see that we have Comfort Adagri. Hello, Comfort. Juliet, how are you, Mama? And of course, Messi, my own Messi Ajine. Oh yeah, Ceci. Oh, hopefully we're gonna have Ceci here very soon to
She better come.
got to add a voice. All right. So Ceci, you're welcome, Mama. Comrade Luke, what's up, brother? Thanks for all the support, comrade, all the time. And Classic Yoruba TV. Oh, Trendy Tosi. I don't even know that was Tosi. Oh, my Bilba. Bilba, what's up, Mama? Thanks for moderating for me last night, Bilba. I came back last night and I feel like, oh, Mo, I need to run one or two shows. And Bilba was moderating all the way for me. So thank you, Bilba. My own beautiful Cherish Olivia. How are you doing, Sister Cherish? You're welcome to today's show. All right. My Miriam. Miriam, the smiling Miriam all the time. Miriam, thank you. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate you, sister. Okay, now, I think I saw Sue. Yeah, my own sister Sue, who is now giving me buzz boost. Sister Sue, you're welcome to today's show. Yeah, this is a corporate conversation, but I promise you, you're gonna at least thank God you were here for it. Thank you, Idera. Oh, am I calling that right? Idera. Please correct me if I get that right. I think it's Idera IDD. Thank you very much, my sister. Thanks for coming. All right. All right. Honey babe, let's
Sure.
quickly look at a couple of things. Thank you for sharing your background with us. Now I'm beginning to see you in a different light. I won't do bad boost with you again. I used to think that maybe, okay, Honey Babe is just Honey Babe. But now we know that Honey Babe is actually a big time executive lady, a boss lady for that matter. So thank you. Now, Honey Babe, I'm just going to ask you this.
Sure.
What actually, I think you've spoken about what inspired you to get into the corporate career.
Sure.
But were you anticipating any challenges when you made that decision to branch into finance?
At the time that like I said, I've been in the corporate world for over 15 years, nearing 20. At the time that I wanted to get into the investment world, it was relatively easy to get into the investment world. Because like I said, even with just having a university degree, I didn't need any specific corporate experience. And a lot of agencies would say, oh, there's a particular role. Can you start tomorrow? So the very first job I had was in Royal Bank of Scotland, which is a British, a UK bank. And I didn't have any experience. So it was very easy at the time for you to literally transition into a role, relatively easy without any particular experience, other than the fact that I had a degree. So at the time, it was relatively easy.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So, Now, as a woman in the
Mhm,
corporate world, how would you describe the balance between your professional identity and your
mhm.
personal identity as a woman?
Um, I think you have to separate the two because, especially dealing in the corporate world and especially dealing with, like I said, the type of investment companies that I work for, it's a very, in some regards, very patriarchal. You're dealing with a lot of testosterone. You're dealing with traders that are dealing with, millions and millions of dollars. So you have a lot of traders that they have a lot of egos because they're, obviously wheeling and dealing and making, crazy money. So you have to navigate that space. And I think, especially as a woman coming into the corporate world, you have to be like boss lady kind of in terms of your mindset. If
Yeah.
not, people won't take you seriously, even in terms of like having meetings with traders, dealing with like a lot of other departments. You have to know how to communicate with them. And if you're kind of, as a woman, you need to be very assertive, especially dealing with, executives, projects, etc. You have to really come with a mindset where you have to assert yourself. If and in some instances, you have to come out of that I'm a feminine woman. You have to do what needs to get done in order to be taken seriously and in order to succeed in any project or any work that you do. So I think there has to be separation from you as a woman and how you navigate when you're in the corporate space. It's not like you're totally like a man, but you have to be more assertive and definitely more goal get in terms of the way that you navigate the space with definitely in the corporate world.
Oh wow! Thank you very much. I see my boss, my paddy, my brother, man of prestige, is right here. A man of prestige is already wishing you a successful one. Man of prestige
Thank
said,
you.
"I came just to learn from Onyika Sola." Yes, Onyika Sola. Please never hide that smile away from us
Oh
again.
gosh,
Thing.
thank you. Mm,
I told you your smile is so beautiful.
thank you. Thank you.
So please let us see more of those smiles, my sister. Thank you, man of prestige, for being here. All right, honey babe,
Sure.
let's talk about corporate life as a
Sure.
boss lady for a minute. So, what unique challenges do you think women face in climbing the corporate ladder? Compared to their male counterpart? Because
I I think in terms of the experiences of women in the corporate ladder compared to men is that women are judged differently to men because women are often judged on the potential risks. So you would have a certain project, and there may be, I'm not trying to generalize, there may be a reluctance to now say that, okay, as a woman, you should be the head of that project. But I think with men, there is a tendency and a mindset to give men more grace. In a sense, they may not necessarily have the experience, but they're willing to take more risks with them. It's called the potential risk of potential gains. And there definitely is a pressure to be more competitive, and you have to be more likable, because sometimes in the kind of, moving in the streets of corporate where you're trying to be more assertive and more competitive, you can be seen as unlikable, i.e. the tagline would be she's very aggressive, which is kind of like a bit challenging, because if it was a man, they would respect the assertiveness. But as a woman, you're seen as aggressive. And sometimes that could be a turn off, and you're seen, you could be seen as unlikable, which, as much as people judge you on your work, there is this kind of like boys. I know I worked in a lot of companies, and I worked for a lot of companies that were very quintessential British. So there's this old boys network where, a lot of people would talk about, a lot of the men will go out to the pub and, I don't drink, see, so it doesn't work for me. So a lot of things, I know a lot of people that were able to get promoted just on the fact that they were able to get on with their boss and go out to a lot of out of work stuff, like for instance, golf, football and stuff like that, that I wouldn't necessarily be able to do because of childcare issues. So I think sometimes there is this kind of like bias. Sometimes as a woman, you're not taken seriously. And because of that, you certain projects or promotion you may not necessarily get because of that.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So this happened in London too, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. It's everywhere. And another thing I would mention is that I know that, you know, obviously as women, when we make the choice to obviously have children, there is a pressure in terms of like your career is interrupted, i.e., you would obviously take time off to have children. Now, I don't know what it's like in the US, but in the UK, you're allowed to have up to a year maternity leave. I think the first 6 months, I can't remember, I think is full pay. And then the next 3 months after that is half pay. And then it kind of dwindles off by the time it's 12 months. But there is a constant pressure that because you've obviously left the firm for 12 months, there's a pressure when you come back to relearn any new procedures. And sometimes in some cases, I've seen it happen where you've actually been moved to another department because they've obviously hired someone for maternity leave and they found that that person is really good at their job. And then suddenly you've been sidelined. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, those type of things do happen.
Oh wow. Oh wow. All right. Let's move on and still consider some of the happenings in the corporate world. Let's talk about um gender biases and stereotypes.
Sure.
Have you ever experienced any of those, and how did you handle it? A case for those
Mm.
young ladies who are still coming up and aspiring to, get all the way to the top of their career. So, would you say they should be prepared for all those gender biases and
Yes, most
stereotypes?
definitely. Most definitely, there is a natural assumption as a woman, you're seen as too soft. And definitely, like I said before, you're not taken seriously, especially in projects and negotiations. And I think the way to obviously counter that is to always prepare. And like I said, work on your speaking and the way you present yourself in any meetings. And at the same time, I know it may not work, but I know in corporate world, there's a lot of politics. So I would encourage anybody to find allies. So it's all about finding an ally in which you can obviously collaborate with. But politics is a big thing in the corporate world. So I would implore women to over prepare in any particular project or role, speak with authority, and also find allies.
Okay. Now, you know me. I'm gonna do some coconut head here. I think sometimes women do take the advantage of, can I say, women in the corporate world often have this premonition, or can I say the mindset that they are always being uh, treated somehow biased and stereotype against. I know you address it again, but what I'm saying right now is that
Mhm.
I've seen situations whereby rules apply
Mhm.
to both male and female.
Sure.
But women often think that those rules aren't supposed to be applied to them because it's like the rules are put in place as a result of gender bias. I don't know if you know what I mean. So, would you agree that some women do take advantage of that and somehow feel entitled to maybe some position or to be part of some project, and when they don't get there, maybe as a result of them not meeting the expectations from the management, then they will resort to, if I say, see, Sisi and Abby will come for me. So those women
Yeah.
when those women don't get what they desired as a result of them not meeting the required maybe skill level or education level or something, they
Sure.
will simply begin to gaslight the men in the company. They will be like, "Oh, they don't give me this role. I wasn't part of that project because I'm a woman." Would you say
Um,
some take advantage of that?
I think personally, whether you're a man and a woman, there's always going to be instances where you have certain individuals that would take advantage of certain things. And obviously, in terms of the whole feminism movement, the crux of it was to have equality of opportunity. So it was to make sure that we would have the same opportunities in the workplace. And that was the whole crux of feminism. So as far as I'm concerned, that there's always going to be some people that will take advantage of certain things. But I can tell you right now, what you're saying is not general over the board. There's a lot of situations where women who are very, very competent have been sidelined simply because they are of the female sex.
I agree.
And I think even if a woman was to now say that, you know what, um, I will now say that I have been, I've been discriminated based on my gender. There is the appropriate things. HRCC can confirm that, and other things that will be investigated. So you can't just hold up your hands and say that I have been discriminated. They would obviously do the necessary investigations and they would establish if that is the case. Most of the time, I think the issue that women have is that we are not given the opportunity to actually to say that, you know what, we have the skills, give us the chance, whether it's any particular project or any particular roles. So I think that's where the problem is. I personally think what you said does happen, but I don't think that it's a general thing across the board. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I
Mhm.
got you. All right. Now, still reasoning along that line, let's quickly talk about pay gap. Do you
Okay.
believe do you believe that pay gap actually exists between among men and women at the top of the corporate ladder? Do you think they still have
um,
differences?
I think there does, but I'm gonna give a caveat because I know that when we was in school,
Mm-hmm.
I even myself for my A levels, this is what I chose: politics, English,
Mm-hmm.
and I think biology. So what I'm saying to you is that there is this kind of consensus where a lot of us as females in school, we tend to choose subjects in which they don't pay well. Whereas if, I'm not trying to generalize, if you go for the maths, the tech, the other ones where, in which you make the big money, that is, and those are normally the men that the boys that would choose those type of subjects. So I do agree that there is a pay gap, but I think that there needs to be an education to push a lot of the girls into STEM, push a lot of them to do the maths, push them into the subjects in which you can get careers where you would have the higher pay. So I think what I'm trying to say is that sometimes it's the choices that we make as women in terms of the subjects that we go into where we're not getting the pay that we want. So I'm trying to balance it with, yes, there is a pay gap, but I think we need to educate ourselves to go for the roles where you get the big money, which is the tech, the IT, the maths. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say.
I got it.
That's how I see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but now when we talk about women in leadership
Sure.
and in the light of pay gap, I do think it boils down to negotiation skills.
I definitely agree with
Because,
that. Definitely.
because CC is in HR. Once we start bringing people in now, she can come and clear that up.
Sure, sure.
Just like in nursing, you could be working in nursing with someone you both have the same qualification and you were hired at the same time,
Sure.
and yet there's going to be a little disparity in your pay, and that usually comes down to your negotiating ability. Now,
Totally.
what I found out was that women often don't push for better pay at the point of entry.
I totally agree.
Okay, so now when they're on the job and they started mixing up with other fellow workers, that's when they get to discover what some of their colleagues, who this time around might be male colleague, they get to find out what those colleagues are being paid. And now it becomes an issue of, oh, you see, there is pay disparity. They pay the men more than us. Can you imagine? I did better than John. I did better than Caleb, and we were both on the same management level, and they pay them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying right now.
I
So
totally agree with what you're saying. I
would
totally
you
agree.
would you recommend to people who might get to see this video as a woman
Yeah.
that you have to negotiate your pay? If you
Yes,
don't
I definitely
negotiate,
think that the unique nature of women is that we don't necessarily, like I said, a man would have no problem, and I'm not trying to negate the men's experience, but a man will sit down and say that I want to negotiate my salary. I want to be paid an extra 5K. They would have no problem verbalizing what they want. But for women, I think the nature of us as women, we find it harder to articulate or to vocalize what we want. So even with the salary, we'll keep quiet. So I definitely believe that we need to improve in our negotiation, because I've known of, for instance, my brother, when he initially got his role was moved to the US, they offered him a particular salary, and he actually renegotiated and said, I want an extra so and so. And what was shocking to me is that they actually accepted it and agreed to do that. So I think we need to have more confidence in ourselves and in our skills and in our experience, and try to really work on being able to negotiate, because I think that is the reason why there's some aspects of women, of there being a pay gap when it comes to men and women.
yeah. Thank you. That's awesome. All right. Let me just look at a couple of comments here as we move on. Talking about pay gap and all of that. Sissy said, a woman will see salary and just accept. Men will always ask for more money. Absolutely. Sissy also said, if you work in a company that does not have women leadership position, it's a red flag. Do you agree with that?
Based on my experience with one of the roles that I was in, I do agree.
Okay.
Because there's a particular role where there wasn't many women in leadership roles, and the tone and the way they did things was a very toxic environment to be in. I'm not slagging off the company, but I noticed that it was very patriarchal. It was a typical British. It wasn't even an American company, like Citibank and Lehman Brothers, etc. It was quintessentially British, and the culture was a certain way. And I definitely noticed that women were not being promoted. They were very dismissive. To me, I felt that a lot of even the men under them, the men that were in higher roles, you could see, the unspoken toxicity and patriarchal mindset that they had.
All right. So Sue said, shout out to my sister Sue again. Sue said, I negotiate all the time. Yeah, I negotiate all the time, either more on the sign-on bonus or salary. Yeah, and then my cherish Olivia said, that is actually a question. We might come back to revisit it. But right now, Sherry said, what if there is a fixed salary for a particular role? Which is absolutely, it happens a lot, it happens a lot. And I still believe in a job where you have fixed salary, that's a job probably where you have people with the same skill level applying for. But if it's a job where they required certain skill level or experiences, you can always negotiate. What do you think about that, Honey Babe?
I definitely agree. I mean, there's definitely some roles where you don't necessarily need an experience, and then the starting salary is the starting salary. You can't necessarily negotiate. But there can be another role where they would have a desirable skill set, and it may not be set in stone that you need to have it, but the assumption is that if you have it, the starting salary would be slightly more because you have that desirable skill set. So there are situations where, as you said, the experience and the skill set, you're in a better position to negotiate, and they're happy to give you the extra increase in that pay because of that.
Right. Okay, thank you. Shout out to my brother Chucky. So Chucky said, I don't think men negotiate at the very beginning. All depends on the experience gained to negotiate. Yes, competitive company make wars with favoritism with men. You agree with Chucky, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, a lot of the negotiation, HR, I mean, CC will tell you, you would never really know. In the UK, especially, it's an unspoken rule to talk about how much you got paid or how much is your salary. So I think I hear what Brother Chucky is saying, but it's something that we're never going to really know unless you literally speak to people and say, how much, did you negotiate? Because it could be a case where, yes, they don't negotiate at the beginning, but they may negotiate 2 or 3 years into the job when they've now, done the training, if there's additional vocational training, or gained a certain experience. But I can't really agree with that, because when it comes to interviews and, salaries and contracts, we're never going to be privy to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. Please hit the like. I see we still have 20 likes. Let's get the likes to 30, please. And shout out to my sister, Abby, my own Abby, the baby of the house. All right. Thank you very much, honey babe. We're going to go to just a little break here, and
Sure.
then we will move forward. I'm actually enjoying this conversation. All right, all right. Welcome back, everybody. In case you are wondering who is our special guest today, our special guest is Anne Marie Ailara, aka Honey Babe, aka the Onyeka Sola Mama. And you can see her beautiful face. I think many of you guys are actually seeing Honey Babe's face for the first time. Is Honey Babe not looking so young? Please don't be fooled though. Don't enter Honey Babe DMO. All right. Okay, Honey Babe. Let's quickly move on to one other aspect of this conversation, which
Sure.
is the more juicy one. Yeah, we spoke about becoming a boss lady, and we spoke about the corporate experience. Now, let's look at relationship and family challenges as a boss lady. Relationship
Okay.
and family challenges as a
Hmm.
boss lady.
Yeah.
Oh, you say,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So I know a lot of men in the Western world, they are usually not that intimidated working with ladies in the corporate world. And I don't think my African brothers are equally intimidated. But when it comes to family and relationship, there is a problem. And I think this is where many women have issues. Um, if you ask a lady right now, between marriage and career, which would you choose? A lot of them would definitely say, "Oh, I would choose my career. I would choose my," especially the Gen Zs. I'm sorry, Abby, and all the Gen Zs in the building. They will tell you, "No, I'm going for my career," and that is fine. Then, if you ask them after a successful career, maybe you are based on your trajectory, you are climbing the corporate ladder, things are working for you, and then you settle down, you find love, and finally you got married, and then you start having kids. Now, The problem is, how do you manage the home front as well as the corporate world? This is where a lot of women struggles, and that is why I want you to help us chime in to make it make sense. So, how does your corporate career affect your personal relationship or marriage dynamics? Please, you can no, you may choose not to answer some
Sure.
questions. It's okay,
Mm,
all right.
mm,
But if you would like to share, would you say you struggle to balance
yeah.
corporate career
Mm.
and relationship, and what are the lessons that you can dish out to young ladies coming up now?
Um, I'll be completely transparent. I struggled a lot, especially when I had my first son and when I was in a relationship and when I was married, in terms of the corporate life and family. I give an example. I took the full year of maternity leave. As I said before, in the UK, you're entitled to take up to 12 months just because it makes sense. It's your first child, as it is. And it was a struggle because financially, they only pay full pay up until 6 months. CC can confirm that, but that's what I remember at the time. And also the fact that emotionally, when you have a children, there's a lot that goes on when you have a child. I say this, your body's not the same. You know, parenthood is not, doesn't have a manual, and it's trying to find the balance between, you know, having a child, all the breastfeeding, etc., etc. And at the same time, I was preparing to go back. Now, the natural thing for me was that I didn't want to work full time, but financially, when I looked at my pocket, I had to work full time. So I think there's a lot of pressure, especially in the diaspora, to have two salaries. And the pressure is for the woman to go back to work after having a child.
Mhm.
Financially, it was a lot because at the time I had to look for nursery. And I remember I was paying almost £1,000. He's 13 now. I don't even know how much it costs now, but I was paying almost £1,000 for like 4 days because I had to go
What?
back to work. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah. Sorry, I don't need to laugh. Like, yeah. I paid £1,000, yeah, for four
Honey babe,
days. Mm.
honey babe, don't scare the little daylight out of me. Daycare is that expensive over there at the
It's
UK?
more now, yeah. It is really expensive. I mean, Cece will come on and she'll
Oh,
obviously can chime in that, but it was very expensive. Now the thing is that we had a mortgage, and obviously two salaries had to pay the mortgage. One salary wasn't enough, and at the time, my partner was still struggling to obviously find the job that he wanted. So it was kind of part-time work. So the pressure was on me, and I was happy to do it at the time to go back to work full-time because I had the better salary. So you can imagine your first child having to go back after a year, and as much as everyone thinks I'm hardcore, I do have feelings. So, yeah, I didn't want to be away from my first child, but what could I do? I had to hustle. I had to go back to work. And it was really hard because I was working in the city. When I say the city, central London, let me say Liverpool Street, that area. And you have to leave at 7 o'clock. I have to be at work for 9, you know, and so I was relying on my partner and my mum to help me in terms of childcare. So I'm lucky I'm in a unique position where my mum helped me a lot when my partner couldn't because he was looking for work and he was working part-time doing shift work. But I know a lot of women that don't have the support I have. So I give my mum the props 100% for what she's done for me and what she does for me up until today. But it is a big challenge dealing with long hours and the stress because like I said, you have to sometimes at work, especially in corporate, there could be deadlines and you can't suddenly leave at 5 o'clock. You have to stay because the project has to be done. The deadline is that day. So many times I have to call my mum and beg her, Mummy, can you pick up my son from daycare or from nursery for me? Luckily, she could do it. But I'm just saying, you can imagine if you don't have the support that I had. So it is very challenging trying to, you know, be there for your family. And at the same time, you have to obviously make sure that you are 100% at work. So it's definitely, definitely challenging. I think the key thing it's definitely having an understanding partner and having a partner or having a support system that can help you. Because like I said, having children, in terms of looking after them and going to work is not easy. That was another reason why I decided last year, even though he's a lot older, he's 13 now, I decided even at the him being 13, I didn't want to work in London anymore. That was another thing. I didn't want to be away from him. I didn't want the hassle of anytime there's issue at school, I have to be running helter skelter from London to come down. I wanted to be around him and be like, 10 minutes away. So that was another reason why I decided to leave the whole rat race.
Oh, wow. So would you say your husband was not really helping that much when you were
Even though obviously I'm no longer married to him, I would say when it came to childcare and supporting me, he was really good. I would say that he was really, 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 really good. So he was very supportive. Many times, like I said, you can imagine, especially with my first son, he struggled to sleep. So most times, even when I know I have work at, wake up at 7, sometimes I've not slept because he was very difficult in terms of getting into sleep. And even at the age of 1, when I did go back to work, there were situations where I had to still give him milk. He was having Actimel. I don't know if you have it in America, but Actimel is like the milk you have after you've weaned them off breast milk. So it was, sometimes, things like that. And sometimes if my mum wasn't able to do it, I would have to literally drop him at nursery at 7 o'clock. Now imagine trying to wake up a child to drop him at 7 o'clock just so that I can get to work for 9. So it's very challenging because these children are tired. He was 1.5 then. So it's the logistics of trying to be a boss babe and dealing with having young children. So it was for me very challenging.
Wow. Shout out to Uncle Patrick. Uncle Patrick says, see, honey babe, I can now match the face with the
Hello,
voice.
Uncle Patrick.
Our accountability prefect. You see that? All right, we have so many comments we can run through, but I just wanted us to finish with this aspect of managing corporate life and relationship. So now, honey babe, if you have to be honest for the benefit of our real fam members who might learn from this, would you say that working in the corporate world put a strain on your relationship?
Just thinking about what you said, sorry.
No,
It definitely it put a strain, I suppose, but I think the key thing for me is that I had great support from my partner and my ex-husband. I definitely got support from him, but it was still very challenging because the logistics of waking up the kids, getting them dressed, dumping them in nursery, jumping on the train with your backpack, walking to the station, quickly, boom, 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 get to your desk by 9 o'clock. It's a lot emotionally and physically. So for me, it affected my personal relationship in the fact that I was always tired. I was always shattered, always tired. I had a good, ex-husband, his ex, but a good partner at the time that cooked a lot, helped me with the kids. But it was a strain in terms of that I was just not happy. Okay. I mean, I stayed on as long as I did because the money was good. But when it got to a stage where I realized that I needed to get out, I decided to get out. But I think the issue I would say was that it affected in terms of my psyche and my mindset because I was always tired and I wasn't happy.
Oh, I know how that feels. And you have to, do you guys work 40 hours a week in London?
Sometimes, yeah. There was a time where I was working for Northern Trust. I was at work by 7 o'clock and I wouldn't leave till 7 o'clock.
Say that again.
Sorry, I talk fast. I started work at 7
no.
and I finished work at 7.
I just wanted to make sure I heard what you said very well.
Yeah, I know I do speak fast. Sorry. Yeah, when I was at Northern Trust, I started at 7 and I didn't finish until 7.
And when you add commute time,
I left at 6 to be there for 7, and I
and
wouldn't
then,
get home until 8.
and you were still with your man at the time.
It strained our relationship. And so I eventually left and I started contracting. So I was able to negotiate my hours. But what I was saying to you is that most corporate roles can be quite challenging with the hours because of the fact that a lot of them are international. So sometimes I have to be at work so that I can be dealing with the Pacific or maybe America in terms of the hours. So that's the reason why.
My God, my God.
Yeah.
My God, my God. God help me. Okay. Okay. Thank you for sharing with us. Now, I
No
asked those
problem.
questions to establish something to our viewers that
Sure.
career is a good thing. And if you are going after your career alone as a single mom, as a single woman or a single man, it's still gonna be stressful, but relatively easier when you are chasing
Sure.
what I
Sure.
call high level careers, and you are in a relationship, especially marriage. It's a different ball game, and working 40 hours a week. And in your case now, like the last experience you described, working 7 to 7, that is freaky a lot. It will strain any relationship. It simply means that you're spending more time on the job than you spend at home.
Definitely.
Even if you now have kids, it still means you're spending less time with the children.
Can I
So,
say something, Uncle Ben? There
yes,
was a time that my son was calling his grandmother mum because he never saw me.
oh my
He was
God.
about 3 or 4. Yeah. Hmm.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That
It's
so
fine. It's fine. But I think anything I say is from my experience. And it was quite shocking. And then I had to really look at myself. And this is getting ridiculous. He was calling my mum because he never saw me.
okay. In that case, that leads me to another thing I
So
wanted to ask. How do you now achieve work-life balance as a boss lady who is in a committed
I'm going to
relationship?
be honest. Abby may differ to me. I don't think you can. I think something has to give. I mean, for me personally, I think that if you're in a space where you don't have family, you don't have kids, and I'm not saying it in a condescending manner, where you're not married or you don't have kids, then it's easier. But I think that personally for me, I think that something has to give. And I think you cannot balance. I personally don't think, I think to balance corporate career and constantly wanting to get that promotion and elevate yourself from one level to another, I definitely think something is lacking in your family life. And for me, I just decided I've done for me, it was enough. 15 years, I think it's 18 years altogether. I've done it. I've worn the t-shirt. And I think at the end of the day, it may be controversial, but I think the greatest achievement is always going to be your children. Now you can be the CEO of anything, but I think your greatest achievement is always going to be your family and your children. And for me, it made sense that, you know what, he's 13 now. He's only got a few more years until he's an adult. I want to be around. I want to be taken into school. I want to go to parents' evening because I used to miss all of those. So I think for me, I
Hmm,
personally think that something will always be lacking. And normally it's the family that takes the brunt of it.
hmm. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for being vulnerable. And I do believe that people are actually learning from this. Now, if we want to bring it into, let's put one argument to rest here.
Sure,
In your experience, 15 years is not a joke.
sure.
15 years is not a joke. And even 10 years is a lot. Next year, I'm going to be at my job working for the state of Texas for 10 years. And I was having this conversation with my colleague 2 days ago. She too, I think she has done 15 years. My wife has done 16. But me, I'm currently 9 going to 10. And the time goes so fast.
It does.
Already bored. I'm already bored. I keep saying it that if not even working for the state is boring to me right now. Even the profession itself, I'm already thinking of I want to crash out. But we will get there in a minute. The argument I want us to put to rest is this. Do you sincerely think in your 15 years
Sure.
experience, do you sincerely think that someone can achieve work-life balance as a boss?
Um.
Oh, please wait. When I say boss
Sure.
lady, boss lady get level.
Sure.
You cannot be a boss lady if you are a junior staff. I'm talking about ladies who are in management or line manager position, who are actually occupying supervisory role. Because who don't know, a lot of people think when you are a supervisor or a manager at your job, oh, it's a cool job. You are just in the office. Let me tell you, as a supervisor, you are you are in trouble. You are responsible for a whole lot of things. So when I say boss lady, I'm not talking about women who are just starting their career. They're
Sure. Sure.
talking about those who are at the second or third level of leadership. So, would you say that work-life balance is possible for a boss lady?
As a boss baby, I still stand by what I said. I don't think you can. Even if it's hybrid, I can tell you right now, a lot of the companies that I work for, especially Citibank and a lot of other companies, especially in Canary Wharf and in, Bank and St. Paul's, that area, they're calling a lot of their staff to do 5 days a week. So even hybrid is not as flexible as it used to be, because obviously COVID is no longer the case. And a lot of people are thinking that I'm renting these buildings, I want all the staff to come back. So I personally think even if you still say, oh, there's hybrid roles out there, there's emphasis is that you still have to go into the office. So there could be situations where, and I've seen it happen where, okay, I'm supposed to be in the office 1 day a week. There could be a project, there could be an essential meeting where you have to go in. So I still think when it comes to hybrid, it's based on the companies kind of deciding that, okay, we'll give you that benefit or privilege, but if they take it back, they'll take it back. Because I know a lot of companies that are now changing their HR rules where there's an emphasis where all the staff have to do 5 days a week. So I personally think in terms of the whole boss baby and having a balance with work and personal life, I still stand that I don't think you can.
Okay. All right. At this point, before we move on to the third segment and finally start our Q&A, let's have a poll here, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do the poll, I would like to add a break real quick. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So let us have this poll real quick. I see you, my sister Idara, and everybody, Sister Marriott. You're welcome. I see all the contributions there. Uncle Dio, thank you for being here. My Bilba, thank you. All right, let's have this poll. Do you think a corporate boss lady can achieve a work-life balance? If you think so, drop a 1 in the chat. If you think, nope, drop a 2. If you think it depends, drop a 3. Let's have that poll real quick. Keep the answers coming. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to our special guest of honor today. Honey Babe is honey babying all of us right now. And I'm here for it. Shout out to you again, Honey Babe. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate. Let's keep the vote coming real quick, people. Bring the vote, bring the vote. Do you think a corporate boss lady can achieve a work-life balance? As you are voting, also remember to like this video. Shout out to you, my sister Lola AJ Dada. Thank you very much for being here. If you think boss ladies can actually achieve corporate life balance, drop 1. If you think nope, drop a 2. And if you think it depends, drop a 3. Now, if we're going to talk about it depends, I've seen a couple of comments, and I'm going to go through that comments together now with Honey Babe.
Sure.
So we can we can take them together
No
real
problem.
quick. Yeah. All right. Let's start with Sister Idara. So Idara said, true, childcare is one of the major challenges we experience as
Sure.
moms, especially in the diaspora. You
Sure.
agree with that?
I totally agree with that, definitely.
Okay, I agree too. Chucky said, is strain in relationship? Hell yeah, it does. So that was what we are talking about. If being a boss lady working in corporate can actually put a strain on your relationship, and you also admit to that, Honey Babe, that yes, that can happen. Me too, I agree. Sissy said you still have to come and do wifey duties.
Totally. I
In the
think Cece gets it. Yeah, totally.
in the other room. Now, you can choose to answer this question or not, Honey Babe. You know your coconut head brother. We always
No problem.
in those days when, especially when you are working at that place where you got to work 12-hour shift and plus
Sure.
commuting hour, it looks like you are working almost 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
When you come back home, do you still have the energy for Kiriwa? And if you
To be brutally honest, I was tired. I mean, that was that. Sorry.
wait to because you guys like to do bass goes. So here the question well.
No problem. No problem.
So when you do that shift, you commute, you go, your boss is on your neck all day, you make a phone call, everything. And by the time you get home, your baby's like, hey, mommy, come back. You still want to play with your baby and all of that. So when you when you get to the inner room,
Yeah,
you
sure.
have the energy for Kerewa, and do you give the Kerewa the way it's supposed to be given? Over to you now.
What a question. I'm gonna be honest. Half the time I was just so tired. I'm naturally anemic, so I've always been that. So I've always had to take iron tablets, and I think for me, definitely the role that I was in with Northern Trust, I was really tired. I'm gonna be honest. I used to say to him, "Leave me alone. I'm tired," and then he would get whatever he got during the weekend. But I'm gonna be honest.
Only Babe put my brother on a timetable.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
All
It is
right,
what it
all
is.
right, all right. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Let's go. Okay. Hello, Honey Babe.
Yeah, sorry. What was you saying?
So you say well, he got to wait until weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I think for me, I know it sounds weird, but for me personally, the whole point of Kerewa is that it's the two of you enjoying yourself. It's intimate, you know. So for me, if I don't want it, I know that some people would say, "Oh, it's the woman's duty." I was physically and emotionally who said that? Chucky, sorry. I was physically and emotionally exhausted. And lucky enough, my ex-husband was very, very understanding. So obviously we didn't do it. Maybe, a hug, a kiss, whatever. I would try and compromise with stuff like that. But I'm going to be honest, when I was tired, I'm not going to allow anyone to pressure me. I was tired. But there will be in occasions where maybe small energy would come and maybe he'll get something. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I got you. I got you. Even though we are laughing about this, these are like
Mhm.
big issues in
Definitely.
relationship nowadays, especially with husband and wife who are chasing their career. Oh, it's a bigger issue. And I
Sure.
asked that question because lately women are outspoken now, and sexless marriage is one of the talking points that trends a lot on social media. And they usually accused men of, oh, I'm not getting enough. Sometimes I hardly get like 6 times, 7 times in a month. What kind of marriage is this? So I asked you that question because I
Mhm.
want women to know that if the situation is reversed, if the role
Yes.
is reversed, and the man happens
Mhm.
to be the one who is chasing a corporate career and he has to work, he has to show to his bosses that he's equal to the task. And now he's working his ass off. And when he get back home, maybe a wife who is working in a less stressful work
Mhm.
environment is now expecting that, oh, when baby come home today, and we are going to be, oh my
Mhm.
God. And then baby comes home tired, exhausted because he has spent 15 to 14 to 15 hours at work and he's still going back the next day. And now baby
Sure.
cannot really give that energy. And
Sure.
wifey is complaining. That's why I
Sure.
just wanted to emphasize that for people to understand that when you
Yeah.
get married, you have to factor in the nature of the job your man is doing.
Sure.
You agree with me on that one?
I totally agree because the ironic thing is that that type of thing can happen. So I think we need to be more understanding, whatever the gender is. So I do understand that. And I think he was understanding about it. But obviously, a man is a man, and not, and I obviously had to be considerate on a case by case basis based on how tired I was. If I had small energy, I will indulge. If I was
You.
absolutely exhausted, I would say no. So it was on a case by case basis.
Right. Thank you, my sister. Oh, thank God. One of the person I want to come and sit on the hot seat is actually here now. Yes, my beautiful sister Marriott, Wahala sister Marriott. So Marriott says, I've worked from home for 5 years now. I am not sure I can go back. You are going back, oh. I swear, I'm calling my bro right now. Your time is off. You are going back. No wonder you have time to come and drag me, to come and punch me all the time. And then Mara said, I won't have energy for anything if I'm traveling for work. God don't catch up my sister today. You see the way Marriott and D, they went back today. Mario did. They went back and they start making reference to our past episode here. And they were
Really?
attacking Uncle Dio. They say Uncle Dio said something. And Uncle Dio said, I don't say it. Now we have this show. Anytime Sister Marriott come and drag me here, when I'm doing my traditional brotherhood, I will come back to this.
Mhm.
Anyway, but that's a very good one. I'm saying this because people really don't know what we are dealing with in Western world. They think it's easy. And from my own experience in this Western world, the amount of work-life balance you can get depends on the type of job you're working in and how you programmed yourself. Honestly, even me myself, I do a lot. If you have been following me, you will know that this guy do a lot. But guess what? I have time for it because of the way I structure myself. For instance, I'm working for the state, and by working for the state, I'm losing like almost $2,000 compared to my counterparts who are working in the private sector. But do you know why I choose to work for the state? I choose to work for the state because I saw the benefits.
Mhm.
Ooh, the time, the easy, like you have sick time every month. They give us 16 hours. Then all these holidays, America has a lot of holiday. Ask people who work in the public sector here, they can confirm it. There is a lot of holiday. Every holiday we get extra 8 hours, extra 8 hours. So before you know, you have all this time. And guess you what, our job here for the state, you are expected to use all those time. For instance, your holiday in a year alone is 160 hours, which is like 4 weeks. You can spread it anyhow you want, which means like every three months, you can take at least 1 week time off to go and
Mm,
enjoy yourself. So you see, so work-life balance all depends on how you plan it. And since we're talking about boss lady and what they have to deal with, balancing the work pressure and home pressure, I really want to like thank you so much, honey babe, for being truthful and
thank you.
being honest. Now, if I just have to ask one more question.
Sure.
How do cultural expectations or societal norms shape women's experiences in balancing corporate and home responsibilities? Can
Um,
you share on that?
Yeah, I think our cultural background definitely adds another layer to it, because the assumption is that even if you're a boss baby or boss lady, you still, the expectation is that you still have to be nurturing and you still have to be present in the home, i.e. the kerewa, i.e. looking after all the kids. There's this expectation sometimes that, you've worked all those hours, but you're still expected to come home, do the pounded jam, you know, do the other room and still have time for the kids. And I think that sometimes is quite challenging for a lot of us women. And I think sometimes there's this expectation and there's this pressure that we have to do it all. As African, that's our nature, that our mothers did it. Why can't we do the same? And I think we need to really look at that and understand that. I know that every case is different, and some men may not have the capacity to want to cook or clean, but there has to be a conversation about supporting your wife
Mhm.
in the home, however you can. It doesn't, if you can't cook, fine, but there has to be some support because we can't do it all. So I think
Absolutely.
that has to be addressed. And also the fact that we need to, there is this idea to redefine success beyond traditional roles. So what I mean by that is that there's this mindset that basically if you're successful in the workplace, that automatically equates and mirrors that you're successful in the home. And I've been quite transparent in saying to you, yes, you can be successful in the workplace, but sometimes there's a disconnect in the home where things are falling apart and you are struggling as a woman. So I think that needs to be addressed.
All right, thank you very much. That's a very good one. If
Thank
I
you.
should add just one more question, but before I add that, let me read
So,
this. Sister Natu said, when I was at my other job, I have to go to the city to work. My husband knows to stay away from me. So you are all criminals. And okay, I'm trying to be okay. Don't do traditional. Let me just wait. Well, Sister Natu, me and you don't enter one trouser. Oh. You sisters will come here and you will blast men, knowing that we are dealing with the same thing that you guys are dealing with. Thank God we have this show. Now don't they open the yash. So, Sister oh my God, that's funny anyway. And Sister Maria said, okay. She said that's why I want to work my way out of work. I don't. Okay. I think I read that, and let me get this from my brother Chucky. Chucky said, "You be Friday in Canary." Oh my Lord, we don't consume but chill with colleagues. That affects relationship. What are you saying? Do you understand what Chucky is saying? That maybe at Canary, because I do believe Canary is the London Wall Street, right? Is that
it's,
what
I
is?
mean, yeah, it used to be the city, and then obviously they moved some of the big banks have moved to Canary Wharf. So there's two centers. It's the city and also Canary Wharf.
Oh wow.
So
Oh.
in terms of what Chucky said, I don't actually understand the question. Sorry, what he
No,
said.
no, he's just talking about how stressful it is for men and in terms of relationship, working in corporate world. It seems like Chucky work at the Canary Wharf
I think
too.
he works from past comments. I get the vibe that he works in
Yeah,
Canary
I
Wharf.
think he
Yeah.
works there. So Chucky, you need to understand though, don't go and stress my sister when you get home. Oh. No be say after your bosses have drained you, You will now come back home. Anyway, there is no need to even talk to discuss this with Chucky. Chucky has been married for, I think Chucky is 17 years in
Wow,
marriage.
that's a
So
long time.
definitely
Yeah,
he has worked
fantastic.
it out. Sister Natu say, at Mario, congratulations sis on your bottle of joy. Yes, yes. I know of this, but I did not mention it all this while because Sister Marriott have not announced it herself. So I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
let me judge you until the day Sister Mario want to tell the real fam that our bouncy, beautiful baby is here right now. And that is why,
Congratulations.
if you notice, she has not been fighting me a lot because my baby she's dealing with the baby at home. No
Wow.
type, no hand to chase me. So
Congratulations, Sister Marriott.
yeah, real fam, please help us congratulate Sister Marriott. She's a mom right now. You can hear anytime I get to speak with Sister Marriott, you can hear baby. You know, you can hear that sound in the background. So please let us celebrate
Fantastic.
our Sister Marriott. It's not easy. Sister Marriott is such a beautiful sister, even though she distressed me out, but I love her just like that. Congratulations, Sister Marriott. In fact, I'm so happy that this is happening to you because I want everybody to hear them just the way my kids stress me out, and it's so fun. I enjoy it. And they complain that they enjoy it. I want everybody to feel the same thing. And to all sisters and brothers who are still looking to God for the fruit of the womb, I tell you, by the power of Almighty God, by this time next year, we are going to be celebrating you two with your bouncy baby boy, baby girl, as well as twins and triplets. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. So, Sister Marriott, I don't want to announce and sins. In case if you don't know why I have one pack, it's because people kept a lot of things with me and I just they choke them inside. I know they bring them out. That's why my belly they big. All right, let's quickly move on to the last segment of the show. Honey Babe have really do a fantastic job for me.
Thank you.
But before we move on to your life now outside corporate world, let me help us quickly address mental health and well-being
Sure,
for
not a
those
problem.
who work. Yes, for those who work in corporation. What would be your advice? Because I see these people go crazy a lot. Too. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
You will see them with their tie, if they be man, in their suit, their blazers. You like, wow, this man looks good. They know. And then you see the ladies, the boss ladies. You see them coming to work looking fantastic. You know,
Yeah.
you like, oh my God, I want my daughter to be like this. But when you see them having mental breakdown, you'll be wondering, what's going on now? So, honey babe, help us address the mental health and well-being from this angle first.
What I will say first of all.
I just wanted to like help
Oh
you.
yeah, sure.
Let me break it down so you can help me out very well.
Okay.
Help me address it from the angle of finding a partner, a romantic relationship partner, because ladies, especially a lot of boss ladies, they are struggling when it comes to finding men. And I'm not generalizing. It is what it is. Many of them invested so much time in their career that they forgot they need to get married. Before they know, they are already 35. Now it
Can I?
becomes an issue. And that is where some of this mental health and other things set in. So help me add that to how you want to address that.
Okay. What I will say is that burnout is real, and definitely, you know, the pressure, especially working in the corporate life, as well as having to be the nurturing mother and wife you have to be at home, it can have a toll on your psyche, and there can be emotional fatigue. So I think as women, there's a lot of pressure. We carry both the professional and the domestic pressure of definitely being in the corporate world. Uncle Benno, in terms of what you said, I agree to disagree. I'm gonna push back.
Yeah, let's go. Let's have it. Let's have it.
Because in terms of People naturally assume that, okay, you're in the corporate life, that because of that, um, we are so focused on being successful in the corporate life that we now neglect the fact that we're supposed to get married. That's not always the case. Whether you're a boss babe or not, relationships are really hard to navigate, especially with what's happening now. People don't there is this kind of decline in physical or emotional or physically being in the same space as people. There's all this online dating. There's a lot of pressure. So when we dated and when you met your wife, it's a different time, a different way of things compared to what's happening now. So in terms of the whole premise of you saying that a lot of women that are in the corporate world, they are necessarily neglecting, relationships. I agree to disagree, because it is the man that finds the woman. And most of the time, I think we need to be quite clear that there are many men that would approach you, and there could be a case where you're not compatible for whatever the reason. There's red flags for whatever the reason. So I think you can be in the corporate world and you can still find relationships. I don't necessarily agree that because you're a boss babe, you're neglecting not wanting to be in a relationship. There's a lot of variables as to why you're not in a relationship. And it may not necessarily be just because you're in the corporate world.
Okay, I agree. So, generally speaking, how would you advise people to cope with mental exhaustion and all those other
I think for
issues?
me personally, you have to try to find a coping mechanism or support system to help you, because you need a sense of balance. If not, you're going to pivot or kind of like go a different way, and you could end up being signed off with stress, anxiety, and if necessarily a mental problem, which happens in most cases, which can happen. So I think what I would definitely say is try and find supportive friends and family if
Okay.
necessary. As a culture, we're very spiritual. We're Christians, we go to church. Be grounded in your faith. That can be something, an anchor for you, to help you when you're coping with whatever life has throws at you. And definitely, I think another thing I would say is, maybe fitness, go for walks. Maybe you want to lose weight, or just try and get fit and healthy. That's another way to help you. Another thing I definitely would say is, definitely you need to learn to say no and set boundaries. So I think that if you're struggling or there's extra pressure, whether it's at work or it's at home, you need to be able to say no and set boundaries, because you don't want to get to a stage where you are struggling so much because you've been too afraid to say no, and you've allowed everything to pile up on you. So that's definitely something that I would say.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Honey Babe. That's a very, very good one.
No problem.
All right, we're gonna move on to the final segment, where we're gonna talk about real estate, and then we will do some Q and A. Yeah, Chucky was asking Sister Marriott if that is her first, and she said yes. And Chucky said, "Marriott, I wish you the very good luck. It ain't gonna be easy." Yeah, I saw that. I say, "It ain't gonna be easy." For a first timer, we hear if you need advice. Oh yeah. So Sister Mario, don't worry, we got you. But I may they not even give you advice. I want me my baby stress you. That is the fun of it. All right. I whine all the time about my kids, and yet I can't even do without them. All right, let's move on to the final segment of today's show. All right. So, for those who are not aware, for those who don't know, Honey Babe has moved a little bit away from the corporate world of hustling and bustling every morning. And she's now in another stressful career, but relatively do it at your own time kind of thing. So, for those who don't know, our Honey Babe is a realtor in United Kingdom, And Honey Babe specializes on buying and selling of properties. She has been working on the project, and I'm so glad with how far she has come. Um, One thing I get from looking into Honey Babe life as a realtor is that this sister is good at paying attention to detail. She is also a perfectionist. I know I haven't told her, but I know. You know how? When I saw Honey Babe website, everything, even the catalog and everything she did for her real estate business, I'm like, Jesus, how can this woman be so good at paying attention to details like this? Like, I'm impressed. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank
So
you.
now, Honey Babe,
Sure.
why real estate? I've always wanted to ask. You are, for those who missed the beginning of the show, I'll come to you, Honey Babe. I just wanted to do
Sure.
this so that goes hand in hand. I'm gonna share this at the backstage also. So for those who were not here when we started, this is the website of Honey Babe's company in the UK. So please go and read about Honey Babe and what she's doing. So, Honey Babe, when I read your profile and I see that you spend most of your time in the financial industry, I have friends who work in IT, I have friends who work in finance. And if you ask me, I like my friends who work in tech more than my friends who work in finance. Make una know vex. The reason I like my guys in tech more than the finance people is because you see those in tech, they are in money, they are inside money, and they are good at spending money. Oh God. But those guys in finance, they see money, they are in money, but you have to hold them by the blockers before they spend some of those money. That is why I know to like them. But these guys see money every day. So when I read your profile and see that you spend reasonable time in finance, I knew that, oh, no wonder Honey Baby was able to bought her first home that early because you are in money. Now, when you now switch career and now you move into real estate, I know you are still in money because it's the same trajectory. Once people see the next thing that they go into real estate because they like big money. So I also know that real estate can be stressful, especially when you're starting out. So I
Definitely.
just wanted to ask, why did you make that decision to move out of corporate world and move into the real estate world?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think for me, it was a natural transition because I already had two properties, one I was living in and I was renting out the other. And I've always been curious in terms of, okay, every, you can't really rely on pensions with what's going on in the UK. What's the next thing you can do in terms of having an asset? And the natural thing was property. And I already knew I had two properties already. So I wanted to learn more about and educate myself about property investment because people naturally assume, oh, that is easy. All I have to do is buy a house and rent it out. There's a lot of regulation. There's a lot of learning about different strategies because it's not just about buy to let. There's other strategies. There's flips. There's a lot of property kind of terminology that you have to understand and certain strategies. So I think for me, it was a natural progression because I was already a landlord and I was already a property investor. So I think for me, it was like, you know what? Let me transition and let me just learn everything there is to know about property. So that was the reason why.
Okay, that's a good one. Now, if somebody wanted to buy property in the UK,
Sure.
I have a lot of friends in the UK, and now
Mm.
thank God to Auntie B. Auntie B brought me a lot of UK friends, and
Yeah.
Auntie B also brought me a lot of Bass Boost friends like you, like like Sisi, like many of my UK sisters here. Now, Auntie B, now bring them come. And if I know, say they go they choke me, I will not tell Auntie B, say, help me hold some of them, you know. So I have a lot of friends in the UK.
Oh, mm,
I know the ones that I have on this platform, many of them are doing fantastically well. But I also have some friends who went to UK straight from Nigeria. And one of their dream is to also buy houses. But whenever we spoke, and when conversation get down to talking about acquiring your own home and things like that, they usually complain about the stress of buying houses in the UK. So I would like to ask first of all, Honey Babe, is
sure.
it a good idea for a black man, an African, to buy house in the UK? Would you advise that? Buying or renting? Would you
I
recommend?
think if someone was to ask my opinion, now the question is like I said, I actually deal with investment properties. I don't deal with properties that you want to live in. That's a caveat. But in terms of the question you're asking right now, it makes sense financially to buy a house because the amount of money you spend on rent and to know that you rent out a property for whatever number of years and is never actually yours makes no financial sense to me. So it would make sense if you was to ask me that question. I would always say it makes sense to buy a property.
All right. Now, thank God you are a professional realtor. One of the things I think our people are struggling with when it comes to
Sure,
buying property abroad
sure.
is how to choose a good location for
Okay.
buying a property. I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I've made quite a lot of decisions in my life. Some of them I'm super proud of it, and some of them I regret them, but I don't blame myself that much. I just use it as another learning experience and move. So, among those decisions that I made in my life that I'm proud of is when I actually bought a house.
Sure.
At that time, I think I saw what many of my friends did not see. Because I
Mm,
remember when I bought my house, the location I choose was a problem. In fact, when we moved to the location, after we did our housewarming, almost like 6 months before any of my friends came visiting, we they see you, but they just feel like, Ben, why did you go to that side? So, but it's a collective decision by my wife and I, and we it's like we already saw the future when we made that
sure.
decision. So now, when my friends started moving to where I bought my house, they are the prices of houses in terms of mortgage payment has increased relatively around $1,800. That
Wow.
is, if you take away what I'm paying as mortgage from what they are paying, you will some of them extra 1,800, some of them 2,200, and yet property taxes are going up every day.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I now notice that many of our people, they really don't know how to decide what location should I buy a house, what are the
Okay.
factors I should be looking for. So for you now, being our sister in UK, if you want to advise our real farm or anybody want to buy a house in the UK, what area would you suggest they buy a house, considering appreciation and every other factors?
Capture appreciation. Yeah. I'm gonna say a few things first, just to state a few facts. In terms of what I do, I'm not an estate agent. I am certified like an estate agent, and basically I help people that have already bought their home to live in, but
Mm,
have decided they want to invest any surplus money into property investment. So I just want to make
okay.
that quite clear. But in terms of what you're saying, I will always say that first of all, decide on the location. I remember when I bought my house in 2000, which is 25 years ago. My God, it's a long time.
Mhm.
And I will be quite candid. My first two-bedroom flat I bought for £50,000, 100% mortgage, no deposit. And I remember buying in Essex. At that time, Essex was seen as, why would you move to Essex? London is the place to be. But my friend and myself that introduced me to that area saw the potential that people will eventually, London will become too expensive to buy.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to move out to the suburbs outside London, which is Essex. So I kind of had a lot of foresight, and I was able to buy that flat for 50,000, and I sold it in 2004 for 120,000.
Hmm.
So I saw the foresight. I remember my cousin saying to me, "Why are you living in Essex? It's nonsense. It's this and that. You know, you should stay in London." You know, the funny thing,
Yeah.
they now have all moved to the area where I live because they can't afford to upgrade to a 3 or 4 bedroom house in London. So
They all
they
they
are now
all
moved to the same area as me. Now, unlike me, sorry, they have had to buy their houses at a premium because the house prices have gone up. So in the area that I live, everyone is moving to my area because London is so expensive. So East London, Essex, people are moving out of East London. Stratford, as you know, because of the Olympics, is very gentrified now. So people can't afford to live in Stratford anymore. So people are moving out of Stratford and moving into Essex. Unfortunately, because the capital appreciation has gone up so much, they're buying properties at a premium because everyone's doing what my cousin and what I said, where everyone's moving to the area. So I think I would always suggest do some research, look at kind of like what are the property prices now. A place that I would say is always look for where there's regeneration. They have government grants in the UK where certain areas where there's a lot of like, poverty, they have now given those type of areas pockets of cash to
Yeah.
regenerate the area. Those are the type of areas that you should live in, because if they're regenerating the area, more people, when it's gentrified, will want to live there. So property prices will eventually go up. So look for properties where there's a lot of regeneration.
All right. Now, I think there is a lot for us to cover because I see my brother Chucky comment. We're gonna do Q&A shortly.
So
Chucky is saying, let me see. The Chucky said, buying in the UK stressful in the
it
70s
is.
and
It is.
80s. In the 70s and 80s was very sensible and cheap back then. Those are days when salary would buy a property. My parents made that mistake not getting one when it was easy. Thank you, Chucky, for that. All right, now, honey babe,
Sure.
um, how can our people contact you? Because I know definitely.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, on my website, we have I don't know if you can bring it up. We have a section called Contact Us. You can fill in a little form with your email or your telephone number, and it will come to us, and we would obviously call you back, and we can book a discovery call. So what we do is that I just want to break down what we actually do. Is it
yes,
okay to say it now, or would you
yeah,
want
yeah.
me to say it later?
Go ahead, go ahead.
So basically, I'm not an estate agent because I don't help people look for properties they want to live in. I look for people that have a little bit of money.
Mhm.
They don't want to put it in a savings account
Honey babe,
because,
go ahead. I'm coming, please. I just want.
sorry, they don't want to put it in a savings account because, as you know, I don't know for America, the interest you'll get is not that much. So they're looking for a pension pot. So they want to invest in property because, as you know, unlike cars, if you buy a brand new car, when you take it off the forecourt, immediately it depreciates in value. With a property, as you know, with time, eventually you will get capital appreciation. The value of the house will go up. So most people, it would make sense to invest in property. So I look for people that want to buy properties for investment purposes, whether to sell it, do it up, whether to buy it, do it up and sell it, or to become a landlord. Okay, so those are the type of properties that we look for our clients. Now, what we tend to do is that if you are interested, you would call me. I will now set up a discovery call. In that discovery call, we would ask you, what are you looking for? Do you want to be a landlord, or do you want to buy a property, do it up, and sell it? So I think what we tend to do is that we try and find out the whole. We try to have a holistic view in terms of how we deal with people. We try to find the bigger picture to try to understand what your needs are and what you're looking for. There could be someone that just wants one property and just wants to rent it out, doesn't want any drama. There could be another one that decides, I want to go into service accommodation. What I mean by service accommodation is Airbnbs. So you may decide that you want to do that. Or there could be another alternative where you want to do HMOs. HMOs are houses of multiple occupation. Those are the ones where you basically live in one room. You've got maybe a 5-bedroom house and everyone has a room. That's houses of multiple occupation. So it really depends on your strategy. So we'll really kind of talk about your strategy and try to find out what is best for you. Now, I just want to give a caveat that in terms of what Chucky said, you don't necessarily need a degree. You have to have the certain certification. Like an estate agent, I am regulated by the Property Ombudsman. I am regulated by HMRC, and I have the necessary certification. So technically, I'm like an estate agent. I have all the legal and compliant obligations, just like an estate agent. I have to do the necessary compliance and money laundering checks, just like an estate agent. So what I want to say is that I like to make people very aware that with anybody, even with me, do your due diligence. Even if it's me as Honey Babe, I implore anybody that when you're dealing with thousands of pounds, do your checks. Whether it's me, check their website, check their certifications. Don't just believe people just based on trust. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. And I've heard of a lot of horror stories of people getting involved in property. And because they didn't do their due diligence, they've had to obviously lose a lot of money. So I just want to say that. So what we tend to do is that we work with you as a client based on your needs. Now, I want to make people aware, not every location works for every strategy. So if you're looking at Airbnb, if you now decide to do it, for instance, in London, I wouldn't agree to do that because it works for coastal areas like Dorset, like Brighton. So you need to do your market research when you decide that you want to buy a property. We do that for you. People assume that every single property will work. No. Buy to let in the UK, as you know, is getting more challenging because of the tax implications and the tax regulations. The government has now imposed Section 21. I don't know what it is in terms of the US, where you cannot give notice to your tenants if you want your house back. So there's a lot of tax and regulations that is happening with buy-to-lets. So a lot of investors are looking for more creative strategies in which to make money or add value. So that is where we come in, because we educate ourselves in terms of the different strategies, and we educate ourselves in terms of the locations. Because as I said before, not every location works for every strategy. I think I'll leave it like that. If you have any more questions, then you can come to me.
All right. That's a very good one. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, the easiest way I think you can contact Honey Babe is through her Instagram. So this is her business Instagram page.
Sure.
Click on the link, go and follow Property Table on IG, and then you can drop messages or DMs for Honey Babe. All right. Again, her Instagram. This is the link. So please go and follow Honey Babe on IG. Now we've come to the final segment, which is Q&A. Let's go, guys. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So we are now at the Q&A segment.
Okay.
Kindly drop your questions in the chat. I will read the questions, and I'm also going to share the link for anyone who want to add one or two things to this conversation. Remember, we spoke about Boss Lady, corporate life, and challenges. So I'm dropping the link right now for anyone who want to participate in the conversation in the studio. And if you just want to ask question, please drop your question. I'm going to read through all the question, and Honey Babe, we address those questions for us. Also, I'm going to have a second show today. Maybe I will check all the members of our community to see when they schedule their show. I'm going to have that show anyway because we have, I think, three set of audience on this platform. We have the African community, and then we have the American community, but not that much on this platform. Then among our African community, we have those who are here just because of trends. They are following what is happening on social media. Some are following Very Dark Man, some follow Yabo Ojo, some are just all about whatever is trending in Nigeria. So we have to also cater for those communities. So I'm going to do a second show. A lot has happened that I have to review, especially I want to review what happened between Very Dark Man and Ina. So if you are free, you want to hop in.
I'm free. I'll be there.
Yeah. So, but this particular one is for corporate people. That's why we're having this conversation now. So please drop your questions. I'm going to go through the question real quick, and Honey Babe and I, we will begin to dissect it. I see one question from Sister Marriott already. Any other person, drop all the questions you may have. Shout out to my sister Natu. Sister Natu is like, Sister Natu is back now. Natu, they do hide and seek. Once Natu enter Nigeria like this, you know, go to see her like that. But once she's back, she's back.
She back?
I think she should be back now. Why would she be in Nigeria? Sister Natu, you don't have to stay that long, please. Shout out to my Elizabeth. You're welcome. All right. Drop your questions and we'll be addressing it as we move on. First, I have my beautiful sister Sese in the building.
Sese.
We are not supposed to give CC mic today. Let me just warn everybody right now.
Uncle Ben, 1 second. I'll be coming. Somebody's at my door. One second.
Okay. But let me warn everybody. I don't think CC wake up on the right side of the bed today because CC decided to choose violence.
Leave my CC alone, no. Leave her, Jerry.
No. CC, D and Abby, I don't know whoever triggered those three today. God, I beg you. They choose violence. So I don't think today is a good day to give CC the mic. But true. Because CC is also a boss lady, she works in corporate. And CC, in fact, I think I'm going to invite CC.
Come back.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, you okay? You all right?
Uncle Ben, you're here insulting me for what reason?
I'm not insulting you.
I woke up on the right side of the bed. I bounced out of bed, springing my step, everything. I was very happy.
CC, because this is a corporate show, I will let it slide. I won't say what I wanted to say.
Better.
But I've seen that thing before. I've seen it before with a lot of women, a lot of sisters. When a man did what he's supposed to do, let me leave it like that. Ladies and gentlemen, I got CC in the building, and I think I'm going to use this opportunity to invite CC formally to have a one-on-one with me, just like my sister Missy and now Honey Babe has done, because CC is in HR, and I think there is so much our people don't know about, searching for job, getting hired, the processes, recruitment policies, equity, and as well as many other labor-related issues in the Western world, particularly those that lives in the UK. So, CC, will you do me the honor to get across to me? Let me know when you're gonna be free, so we can have you on this hot table, and then you
has to be there. If I'm doing it, she has to do it. She don't have choice. You don't have choice.
So you accept my request?
Absolutely. That day, no boss, okay?
No, it's not.
I'm learning. Real fam, happy Friday, firstly, to everyone.
Happy
Uncle Ben,
Friday.
thank you, honey babe. Thank you,
How do you think that I did? Because I was very
amazing.
nervous, guys.
You did amazing. I don't know why she always says this. I don't know, real fam. I actually I extended an invitation to Honey Babe for one of my friends was hosting a brunch event for kind of women in business, you know, collaborating. And I extended to Honey Babe to promote her business. And she came along. She gave a speech, talked about her business. So this shy that she's doing, I don't know why she's pretending. She did
Don't
amazing.
mind her.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on and, you know, sharing your
Thank you.
wisdom for us from the other side of the table. I'm on the, you know, strategy, HR, from hiring people into businesses, but it's good to hear from other people who work in those businesses, their points of view and where I can add as well. So thank you, sis. Amazing.
Thank you.
Uncle Ben, thank you for the platform, as always.
Oh, my
less.
My CC. You know, you guys own the platform. That's why I'm just watching.
I love what Uncle Ben says we own the platform, but he'll be giving it to us in the backstage.
Exactly.
I don't do nothing. The only thing I'm doing is defending my gender. You're
right.
All right. Let's get into this Q&A. And thank God, thank you for joining us, Cici. Welcome, Auntie Grace. Welcome, Auntie Yinka. Thank you, everybody. So first off, Cici, do you agree with everything Honey Babe said, my special guest of the day?
Yes, I do. So let me just give a recap in terms of my experience so people will know that I know what I'm talking about. So I've worked in kind of HR, talent acquisition specifically. I started as a talent acquisition person. So that's the person that hires talent into businesses, and that's at a global level. So I've always worked within the UK, EMEA, NAM, which is obviously North America, and then most recently within Asia as well. So my background is in with tech, corporate, finance, you know, so all of those kind of industries, but most specifically within tech industries of recent. However, that being said, I'm also a woman. I'm also a Black woman. I also see the other side of working in corporate environment in terms of I usually am the only Black woman in the company and even the only Black person in the company or sometimes in my team. Okay, so there comes that kind of experience from both sides of the table. So when we talk about, I think one of the questions that you asked was the reason for the pay gap divide, specifically in corporate. And I said the second biggest reason is that women specifically don't really negotiate their salaries. And Uncle Ben, you said that and it was spot on. And one of the reasons, obviously, is that in the corporate sector, aside from white women and other ethnicities, Black women are where we don't usually tend to be in leadership roles, unfortunately. Not for the want of trying, not because there's a skill issue. It just tends to be that the opportunities are not readily available, and when they are, a lot of Black ethnic minorities are overlooked for those positions. We have a thing called glass ceiling, like your kind of your position is at a glass level. So you'll see Black and ethnic minorities be promoted to a certain level within a corporation, and they'll usually just stay there, kind of like middle management. You will never really get further than that. You will never really become a director. You won't become like a CFO, a CEO, those type of things. So they like to keep us as a people at a certain level, and you can never seem to break that glass ceiling. So that's one of the main reasons. The other is obviously when I sit in negotiations, because I deal with exec level, direct level hiring into companies. So those positions command big salaries. Yeah. And when I see women come into those roles or apply for the roles, usually they tend to come in at a lower salary. And as a company, I'm not going to tell you what we have available in terms of the package. Okay. It's in the best interest of the company for us to get somebody who can do the job and get them at the lowest rate if possible. Right. Even though we want to be fair. But if you, as an employee, you come into a corporation, you haven't done your research, you don't know what the going rate is for your role, whether you're a man or for a woman. If I present a salary to you and you accept it and think, oh, okay, all the benefits look great, but your take-home pay is lower than maybe your colleague if you came into the role, that is kind of on you, because as a company, it's not my responsibility to tell you what's available in terms of money. Okay. And women tend to come in, we hire them, and they accept the role or they accept the package that's available. Whereas men, usually 99% of the time, men will always negotiate. They'll always ask for more money. Sometimes it'll be ridiculous, and then you can negotiate, right? Ask for high, and then you'll come down, and then we'll meet at a happy medium, which usually tends to be above maybe our salary range for a specific role. But women don't tend to do that. I don't know if it's a culture of like fear. Maybe they feel like, okay, I'm kind of privileged to even get to this position, so let me not push it by asking for more money. Or they haven't done their research in terms of what is available.
Yeah.
And I think Cherish asked a question like, oh, sometimes there's a cap on the salary. How would you negotiate? There's always ways that you can negotiate around that. If the salary is a set salary, you can always negotiate the package. So your benefits, is there a company car? Is there a bonus structure? Is there, for example, if I'm in this role for 6 months or after a year, what is the projection in terms of promotion? How soon would I be able to move into the next role, which commands a higher salary? You ask those questions in a way that show that you're an asset, not that you're being greedy, but shows that you're looking, okay, maybe the salary is capped at this for this role. After 6 months or after a year, after I've proved myself, I can get a promotion, have a review of my salary, and then command more and things like that. So there's always ways, but women don't tend to do that. Men are very aggressive. Men are more hungry, and men seem to come in kind of equipped with that knowledge, whereas women don't tend to do that. So that's also another reason for that pay gap.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So how about the pressure on relationship when women work in the corporate and juggling between being the boss lady out there at your job and also being the sweet submissive wife at home?
It's always a struggle, because like Honey Babe said, something will always have to give. And unfortunately, because women take most of the brunt of like child rearing, giving birth, being off for maternity leave, that will naturally take a hit on your career trajectory, as opposed to a man. Even if you and your husband are in the same environment, the fact that you're going to get pregnant, you'll have to take time off work, you'll have to look after your baby. And here in the UK, we have a maternity leave that's up to a year. So if you think about the pace, maternity is 9 months paid, but you can get 12 months off.
Yeah, that's right, Cece. Yeah.
Wait.
What is it?
9 months, 12 months, you stay at home and they pay you?
Yeah. So you'd stay home, depending on your company, but usually the standard that the government pays for all women is 9 months paid maternity. So you can take off time with your baby, stay home for 9 months paid, full salary. And then after that time, the last 3 months, you can come back, or if you stay, you may get like a reduced amount depending on the company. But in total, most women on average tend to take that full 1 year to stay home with their baby.
Okay, wait.
What is it that you don't understand?
What am I doing in the US? Why am I not in the UK? All right, that's a good one. Now,
but then the plus of that is fantastic to take off. But you think about it, Uncle Ben. You're in the corporate industry. You're in the financial sector. Promotions, things are changing all the time. The rates of money is changing. Things are happening every single day. You wake up, the stock market has changed. So if you're keeping up with that, taking off even 1 week is a long time. So taking off a whole year in the corporate sector, whether financial, tech, whatever, it's very unlikely that when you come back into that role, you're going to be doing the same type of work. Maybe the processes have changed, the systems have changed, the company may have had management changes. You need to regain and build your skill set back again. There may be gaps in your skills within that time. So it takes a hit on women because you are at a disadvantage, because you need to stay off to look after your baby. There's that pull maternally, but then you also want to still keep your foot inside in terms of your corporate thing, and make sure that your projection in terms of your role is not stunted. And more than likely it usually is, because when we come back, I've had directors come back, boards of directors, they're women, they've had their babies in their 40s. Sometimes they've taken off, they have to leave early because of medical conditions, medical issues, being an older mum. They then have to balance childcare. They may need to come back on reduced hours. They may then also they may also need adjustments in their work. Like for example, Honey Babe mentioned, a lot of the time people are always afraid of leaving the office at 5 o'clock. Let's say you're doing 5. Most times, if you're working in a global team, the team I work in Taiwan, they're 8 hours ahead of us. Sometimes I'm still taking meetings until 9 p.m. in the evening in the UK. Thank God I work from home. But if you're working in the city, for example, and you're commuting, you're going to have to stay in the office until that. A lot of people are not comfortable to say, okay, 5 o'clock, I'm closing my laptop, off I go. Even though the company will tell you, yeah, that's fine, fantastic. Trust me, I've been in meetings with managers that are like, why is she always leaving at 5 o'clock? There's things to do. There's still meetings to do. So it will stunt you professionally just because of the nature of the job. You're just not available as often as you can be. And it causes a burden on that person. And then obviously your home life would definitely be affected, Coming home at 9 p.m. in the evening, your kids are mostly in bed. I know I used to work in Canary Wharf, same as Honey Babe. And prior to COVID, I was in the office Monday to Friday. And I was working for like a government company, and I used to wake up at 5:30.
Wow.
I used to do the school runs, drop my son to breakfast club for 7 o'clock in the morning, and do that commute into the city to be at work at 9 o'clock. I'd finish at 5, but I'm just literally on running. You don't have time to even catch yourself. I'm running to pick my son for 6 o'clock from after school club, do homework within an hour. 7:30, everybody has to be in bed, and then you do the same thing the next day. I mean, luckily for me, I didn't have a husband, I didn't have a partner living with me, but it was draining. By the time COVID came, I always say for me, COVID was the best thing that happened. It just allowed me.
You're joking.
Because it allowed me to completely just stop. And put time into my family, put time into my son. My son wasn't happy going to breakfast club. He was tired all the time. He wasn't focused in class because he wakes up at 6 o'clock to go to school. He starts a full day like an adult doing a 16-hour shift, and I couldn't pour into him because I'd come back, we'd just do everything rush, eat dinner, do homework, okay, bed. I want peace and quiet. And then the next day is the same thing. Weekend, you're doing things, running around. It takes a toll on you. So I can imagine people who are married, have partners, and you have that pressure of, being present for your partner, being present for your family. It's a lot. So I always say that something has to give. If you care about your family, you care about the type of parent being present, showing up for your kids, sometimes the money has to give, because you're not going to get that time back with your children. They're not going to be little forever. And then you take a step back in terms of your career, maybe salary, and then just say, you know what, when the kids are a bit older, maybe I'll go back into the role, maybe I'll retrain, do something else. But usually it's the woman that take the hit. It's not usually the men.
Wow.
The funny thing, Uncle Ben, Cece's talking about the fact that how she had to rush back, childcare, maybe nursery. I think I remember a time that you're supposed to be there by 6. They fined me. They said, if you're 1 minute late for picking up your child, they fine you. I know they do it in the UK regarding nursery, but even the pressure of rushing home to pick up your child because you're late, because they close at 6 o'clock and you're getting there at 6:30. So it is very stressful.
Yeah.
If people used to see me back then, I remember when I met my boyfriend before my current partner now, he met me when we were commuting, and he used to tell me, like, I was scared to approach you because you're always on go. I don't stop to look at anybody's face. I have a destination. I'm literally power walking in the high street, dropping my son to nursery. I come out, I'm speed walking through the station because I have to catch my it was crazy. So when he used to say that, I used to laugh. I'm like, what do
Uh,
you mean? He's like, you are not, there's no way that you could approach the person. Your focus is just on doing the commute and getting to work on time. And it's
Yeah.
crazy. So, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I know a lot of people think, oh yeah, I can do, you know, it's easy to be a boss. It's easy to do. It's easy to say that, but once you start having that mum guilt, once you have children and you know that you're chasing money, but your child is in nursery, your child is with a childminder, your child is with a nanny, you're taking trips. Yes, you're putting food on the table, but your children are constantly with a nanny, with a
yeah.
childminder.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, unless you're somebody who you're not a maternal person, it gets to you. It does get to you. And when your children, like Honey Babe said, her son was calling her mom, because she's never there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many things that I missed out on for my son. I always tried to, but I still felt that like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not present enough. You know, so my mum would go in place of me sometimes, you know, like maybe assemblies and things if I was in meetings or if I had commitments, like to be out of the country. I can't change that just because he has a production at school. I can't get that time back. So you can't tell me that you're a boss lady. You don't have the privilege of being a boss lady. You're under somebody's time. Somebody's employing you, you know? So there's always that emotional pull, always. So it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
CC and Honey Babe.
Yeah. What is it?
Both of you are making me laugh because
Why do you say that?
you are both bringing back old memories, especially when you were talking about this childminder, child
Oh,
care,
nightmare. Yeah.
yeah. And then when somebody spoke about, I think it's you or Sisi that said if you are late to pick up your
Yeah.
child.
They'll fine you. They will literally fine you like a parking ticket. They will
uh,
fine you £10 for every 10 minutes you're late.
you guys don't worry, my diary of imported husband is coming out. You will hear some of my own challenges too. Why I was laughing is because when you mentioned that they found you, I remember when my middle daughter was in kindergarten and I have to go pick her up, I think around 2:45, and I was working a morning shift. So I will get off work. By the time I get off work, my wife is working evening shift at the time. She would have already gone. So I'll be the one to go pick my baby. So one time, life was really life for me at the time. Too much stress, no money, just trying to meet up. Then I was late there, just about, I think, 12 minutes late. And if you see the way they talk to me, oh God. The lady was talking to me as if she's giving me warning that, look, I'm doing you a favor. I'm supposed to call you in. You were supposed to fill a paper. Next time, don't do that. Don't. I managed. I picked my daughter. We went. I think 2 days later again, something happened at work. I couldn't get up on time. So by the time I got there, I was like 15, 16 minutes late thereabout. And this lady went off again. And at that day, those are one of those moments I pray to God that I don't want to be remembering, because that was a really tough time between me and my wife then. I was losing my mind literally. It was one of those times I was considering maybe I should go back to Nigeria. So when the lady was speaking, oh God, I lost it. I was yelling, vibrating, because it was just so, I'm just like, what is wrong with you? I'm just 15 minutes late and you are doing all this. Can you guys just give me a break? And then, what they were saying is a man who is late to pick up his baby who is supposed to apologize, but they don't know what was going on here upstairs. So I just wanted to add that when you see people who work in corporate world and they are in Western world and they have kids and they are married, please, husband or wife, just know that they are dealing with a lot. There's just so much going on. And I'm glad that Honey Babe and Sissy, they can share this with us. The video I'm playing right now
Is that
is
Canary
just,
Wolf?
yeah, that's the
I
video.
think so. I
I just want
recognize it. Yeah, I recognize
I've
it.
been hearing this Canary Wolf, Canary Wolf, Canary Wolf. I just be like, let's see what is this Canary Wolf that we will not breathe. Eh? So, but that's a good one. Let's quickly address these
I'm
questions so
sorry,
we
let me
can leave
just
here.
say something one quickly, Uncle Ben. And
Yes.
here in the UK, when you're late to pick up your children from school, at a certain point, your child will be kept with social services.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yep.
Your child will be kept with social services.
Yeah.
I had that once before when I was late to pick up my son. I had a busy week. I was late to pick up my son, and then the train was, because central London, you don't really drive. You take public transport. The train was crazy. That day I was like an hour and a half late. Do you know they put my son with social services?
No way. Are you kidding me?
And my son's dad works outside of London. He has also a very demanding job as well. So there was nobody to pick him up. I came to pick my son almost like 7:30 in the evening, almost 8. He was with social services.
Wow.
So it's crazy, you know. It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm.
Now, Sissy, before I dive into the question, just one more question I asked Honey Babe before you came. I just want you to chime in on that question.
Yep.
So after you go through all those stress, running to work, coming back, helping baby, homework, everything, yet your man is like, come on, baby, daddy is chilling, daddy is waiting. Come on, baby, what you doing? Will you play with the mic, or you will just be like, are you a madman? Are you crazy right now? Which one will you do?
No. Then
What?
it's a weekend something.
Sorry.
From your mouth, Sissy. You from your no, this is not Sissy.
She said it now.
No,
You don't hear. You
As
don't
much as
hear.
I like the thing, I can't. So I'm sorry. No. It's a weekend something.
no, Sissy, do it every day. Sissy, don't get me started. You've
Because
been
my son's dad worked outside of London. He would come back later than me. So when are we doing? I used to sleep by 9:30. I'm in bed. 10 o'clock. People know not to call me after 9 p.m. I was that strict. My phone is on do not disturb. Don't call me. I'm winding down to sleep. I need to be sleeping because I'm waking up at 5:30.
5 a.m.
Don't want
exactly.
to-
Yeah.
That thing will pee me off. Don't wake me up. Don't disturb me. So it didn't really happen. I'm sorry. Weekend, yes, but no.
ladies,
No.
ladies and gentlemen, can you see the nature of women? Do you see how women roll? If a man is saying this now, I bet if we are not doing corporate discussion today, all my sisters, they will be like, no, as a man, you have to do your duty. How could you say weekend to weekend? You have this particular sissy we say as a man, you are supposed to do like 4 times in a week. Hey, sissy.
Which
Ooh.
4 time?
Hey.
Which 4 time?
Anyway, that's a good one. Now we don't have a lot of questions, so but I'm just gonna fly with the one we have here. This question is coming from okay. First one, Sister Marriott asks,
Sure.
market have turned in Canada. Is that the same in the UK as well? When we were talking about real estate.
I think every market is going to be different. So I can't speak on Canadian real estate because the way that we do things, whether it's the conveyancing, whether the locations, whether the way we do the mortgages, because I think you have escrow in the US. I don't even know what that is, but we do things slightly different. We have exchange and completion, which means you legally own the property. So I think there's a lot of different terminologies, the way they do the mortgages. So I can't really comment on Canadian real estate. I can only talk from the perspective of UK property market.
Okay, all right. So next question is from Auntie Grace. Auntie Grace is
Okay.
asking, Honey Babe, if
Hello, Auntie Grace.
someone has a mortgage for living Okay, if someone has a mortgage for living in, do you give advice on what it takes to buy to rent in terms of deposit required?
No, because if they're buying, see, that type of thing is you're an owner occupier. What I mean by that is that you're buying to live in. It's your residential house. So in that perspective, I won't advise you, because that's a different mindset. And the thing is, when you're looking at properties to buy to live in, you will always mark it at market value, because emotionally you're going to be tied to a house, whether it's the conservatory, whether it's the decor. From the point of view is what I look at in terms of property, there's no emotional attachment. We're buying it as a property investment. So all we care about is literally just a case of, does it work? Do the numbers work? And do we need to invest in it? And how do we add value? So
Yeah.
I can't really advise you when it comes to residential properties, because I don't really specialize in that.
Okay, so you specialize in investment properties.
Yes.
All right, that's cool. Sister Marriott asks, question: are
Sure.
the properties 100% cash purchase, or do
No,
you?
I think there's a misunderstanding. When I was talking about in terms of my history and my journey of me deciding to go into property investment, I talked about a time almost 25 years ago where, because of properties were a lot less in terms of how much you paid compared to now, I was able to buy a 2-bedroom flat, 100% mortgage, without me having a deposit.
Okay.
Fast forward 2025, it's a different landscape. As you know, there was the credit crunch in 2007, and then they've tried to be more responsible. So the whole having 100% mortgage doesn't equate anymore. They want to be more responsible with their lending. And so what you have now is that in the UK, even if you're buying as a second property, and even if you're buying to live in, you will always have to put some type of percentage of a deposit, whether it's 5%, 10%, 15%, or 25% if you're doing a investment property. So in terms of properties that you can buy cash, if you've got 500,000, or even a 2-bedroom flat in the UK, in Essex where I live, is around 200k. If you got 200k cash, then fine. But I personally would say this, is that I would not advise you, even if you had the money, to buy a property 100% cash, because you want to leverage the lending. For example, Beyonce, I very much doubt if she bought her house 100%. She has a mortgage on her house. You have to understand and be financially educated to understand leverage when it comes to mortgages. It doesn't make sense to put a whole of your 200k into a property, because once you've done that, you can't move that money. It's stuck in a building. So you need to be very smart. And that's why a lot of property investors will only put the minimum deposit, which in the UK is 25%. And then they get the mortgage for the 75%, so that you want to invest as minimal as possible for a property, so that any additional cash, you can now use that to refurnish the property and to add value. So it's being smart. So in terms of cash, there's no such thing as cash in 2025 anywhere in the UK. I wouldn't even advise anyone to buy 100% cash for a property, because it's dead money. Because once you put it into a property, 200k, you're stuck. All that 200k is stuck in a building and you can't take it out.
But Nigerian politicians, they used to buy property cash.
Yes, I know they do, because it's stolen. It's sorry, I don't know but it's questionable money. So of course they would do 100% cash. But as you know, it's getting harder and harder to do that because of money laundering regulations that are kicking in. So they will question the origin of that money anyway.
All right. Thank you, honey babe. So Chucky is asking, transitioning to real estate, what qualification do you need?
I don't think there isn't. To be an estate agent is pretty easy. A lot of people do apprenticeships, and all you really need, I have a lot of people that have become estate agents. All you need to do is the necessary certification. Now, I'm not an estate agent. As I said, I'm certified like an estate agent. I just work for the clients and I work for the buyer, not the seller. The seller is normally the person that wants to sell his house. Normally, the estate agent would charge and invoice the person that wants to sell their house. I am the opposite. But in terms of certifications, all you really need is, you set up your business, limited company, you sign up to HMRC in terms of money laundering, and you're supervised by them. You do the necessary insurances, and you are signed up to the property ombudsman or redress scheme. So you do all the necessary certifications that you would have to do in order to be in this real estate sector. So just look it up, what you need to be a certified estate agent, and then you would do the necessary certifications. There's no degree, there's no MVQ. It's all I would say is that you're learning on the job. But what I will say that whether you want to be an estate agent or are buying for yourself, I always implore people to educate yourself. Understand the strategies, understand the maths, because you need to understand, okay, how much is it for 25% of 200K? Understand your mortgage repayments, understand how much you have to pay every month. Educate yourself on that so that you don't make mistakes when it comes to buying properties.
All right, that's a good one. Sister Marriott asks, will abroad people qualify for mortgage in the UK?
Again, the UK signed up to money laundering. So the issue is that if you now want to invest in property in the UK, I would have to do my due diligence, which I am legally obligated. So if you now want to bring money from abroad, I would have to question the origin of where that money came from, and I need the necessary paperwork. And I would have to obviously declare that, do the necessary compliance, onboarding, and investigation. So I need to be satisfied that the origin of that money is a legitimate origin. So you can, but just be aware of the red tape that you would have to go through, because I have to adhere to money laundering regulations.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think the next question I have is from Chucky again. And Chucky is asking, let me see. So Chucky is asking, council properties, is it wise to buy it and rent despite its location?
Right.
What are council properties?
It's I don't know how to describe it. I know you don't have any kind of welfare system, but I think in the UK, if you qualify with the necessary qualification criterias, we have social housing. I don't know if you understand social housing.
Section 8.
It's basically social housing. So in terms of a council house, it really depends, because like I said, Brixton was the type of area where people used to turn their noses up. And now Brixton, Peckham has been gentrified. So what I will say is that I would encourage you, but you will struggle, because since November 2024, they have reduced the discount for council houses. So before, you could get up to 50% discount on council houses, but the government did a sneaky thing where they didn't inform anybody, and a lot of people didn't know. And the day after my birthday, which is the 21st of November, my birthday is the 20th, they literally told all councils to reduce their discounts. So, for instance, if you had a house that was 200,000 pre the 21st of November, you could buy it for 100K. Now the maximum discount you'll get is maybe, I think, 35% discount. So I would encourage anybody, if you're getting a discount and it's a council property, I would buy it. I would encourage you to buy it. Obviously, within a certain criteria, unless I know the location, I couldn't tell you. But think about it. If you're getting a discount on the property value of a property, I think it's a no-brainer to buy it, because already you've built in equity, because the value is 200K, for instance, and you bought it for 175. You see where I'm going? So you've got built-in equity. So I would encourage someone, if they have that opportunity that you've mentioned, to buy it.
All right. Okay. Here is what we're gonna do, because this is a very interesting conversation. And me, I'm always, when I hear property, when I hear investment, even though I never get money, my ears always they do like where is the opportunity? So I think we need to have more of this conversation on your channel, the Rebuild Blueprint. I'm sharing the channel right now for everybody. Please go and subscribe, because I would rather spend time listening to people and having conversation around investment than chasing all these clouds on social media. So please subscribe to this channel. That is Honey Babe YouTube channel, where she talks about her journey moving from the corporate world into a new world right now, and she's doing an amazing job. And I think with our support and everything, Honey Babe will have to work around our schedule. If it has to be once a week or twice a week, I think Honey Babe has to be doing something about all this real estate stuff so that our people can learn. For
Yeah.
instance,
Mhm.
Chucky mentioned something earlier. I wanted
Sure.
to bring it back real quick.
Okay.
Where is it? Let me just show you. This is a general problem
Yes.
all across the globe as far as Black people are concerned. I'm coming. Okay, I found it. So Chucky made this statement earlier where Chucky said, and that's why the in the UK Asian, okay, that's why the UK Asian ranks high in
Mm.
property ownership in London because they help themselves. We lack that in the Black community.
Can I
Now,
comment on that when you
yeah,
get when I
yeah,
get a
that's
chance?
why I bring it back. I
I
wanted,
lived in, I don't know if Chucky knows the area. I used to live in Alperton. I don't know if CC and Chucky know the area. It's a very Asian area. And what I used to notice with a lot of my neighbors, they would have people that would come from India and other Asian countries, and they would help them to settle. They would have almost 10 in a house. They will now maybe put money together and buy a property.
Mhm.
They will also they will buy it, sell it, any money they will split it between the family. And that's why you notice why a lot of them have a lot of like sweet shops or shops, because they are all about collaboration. So they see them, they are a whole community where they help each other. And I think it's something that we should take lessons from, because I think for us, because we're very much me rather than us, this is why we have a lot of our community not educated enough, lacking, I'm not saying you're stupid, but lacking the education to understand that we need to invest in property if we want to have that financial wealth, if we want to have legacy to pass on to our children. It's very, very important to think about the future. We're so focused on today, fun, party, high life, dirty December, that we don't focus on things that we should focus on to help elevate our community. So I think it's very important what Chucky said in terms that this is the type of thing we should be talking about, encouraging our community, men and women, about legacy, about building wealth, about investing in property, and educating yourself with things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you, my honey babe.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, honey babe. You see, this issue about Black community working together, I think we need to do 40 days fasting and prayer all over the globe. We have issue in our Black community. I'm not even sugarcoating it. Something is wrong with us. Africa generally, when it comes to collective investment, collective finances and all of that, something is wrong with us. I'll give you an example. You can get, just an example, you can get 360 Africans. 360 Africans. You can get them to put money in a pyramid scheme. I'll say that again. You can easily get 360 Africans to put money in a pyramid scheme. Some of them can put as much as 10,000, 15, 20, some 5, some $1,000. but you can't get, you will struggle to get 50 Africans to put money together for an investment, a lifetime investment. You can't. It won't work. They will use mouth to destroy it. They will criticize every garden person. I've seen this entire here in abroad. That's why you will get to a point whereby when you date this Western world, you will begin to see that walk your own path. If you say maybe they wait for all this African brother, make all of them do this together, you go wait forever. So what Chucky and you said there is one of the biggest problems we have. Did you know one time I was having a conversation with some of my pals here, and I'm like, did you guys know that instead of buying a house, where you get to pay $3,000, $3,500 as mortgage every month for 30 years, did you know there is a way you can buy a house and you only get to pay $1,000 mortgage every month? They're like, Ben, no, what are you talking about? Ben, that is scam. It can't be done. And I'm like, you think so? So I said, okay, pull out your calculator. If you are listening to me right now, even try this. Pull out your calculator. Just say 360,000 divided by 30 years and see what it will give you. It will give you $12,000 per year, meaning $1,000 in a month. You can see houses wherever you live now in the US. If you don't pass your boundary, you're still going to see houses of 300K, 320K, 350K that you can pay cash. But what is the brain behind this? All it takes is get 360 Africans to agree that every month, instead of me paying a mortgage of $3,500, let me be paying my own mortgage of $1,000. So 360 people, they bring money together, $1,000. You pay every month. But that's a long idea anyway. Africans go take mouth, scatter that thing for you. If you say let's do business together, bring money, they go take mouth, scatter the whole thing. So we really have a problem. We have a long way to go.
And even I think, Uncle Ben, I think it's also a lot of Africans, we don't know, we're just not financially savvy.
Yeah.
Or lack of knowledge, to be fair. A lot of it is just lack of knowledge. And people don't want to go that extra mile, read that, ask questions. A lot of people don't ask questions. You know, we keep the same community. We just, oh, okay, this person hasn't bought a house. Oh, okay, me too, I'm not buying a house. Or there's just not that motivation from us as a community. Usually, I think it's changing now with the generation that's coming up. But I feel like before, people were just happy renting. People think mortgages are unattainable for Black people, you know? So that lack of financial literacy is a big problem in our community.
It's crazy.
A lot of the time, like in families, like in the UK now, there is like what's it called, honey babe? Family mortgages. You can do a mortgage.
Yeah, you can do a family mortgage, yeah.
With your family. So if you have a family, like all of us are siblings, we live in our council property. I know a lot of friends when I was growing up, they live in their parents' council properties. They're working good jobs, driving nice cars. They're living at home. It's like, why don't you invest that money
and buy the house?
Buy the house,
exactly,
so that you have that secure. They'll be renting that property. Their parents will be renting for God knows when, and then they'll be living in the property, wasting money on things that's not important. Whereas you collectively put that money together, all you need is good credit and a job showing pay slips for like 3 to 6 months. And you have the capital. If there's 3 of you in the house, siblings, put the money together, put a deposit down, buy your council flat as your family home. That's security for your family. And then from that, you leverage buying another property.
Exactly.
We don't do that. I know people that will be like, oh no, I can't invest with my family. I can't invest with my brother, my sister. But they'll rather pay somebody else's mortgage by moving out of the property that they're living in. I mean, it's just our mindset. It's very backwards.
Something is wrong.
It's changing now, slowly but surely, you know, because a lot of the kind of Gen Zs, you know, they're making money, they're thinking about property, they're getting more financial literacy. but we can still do a lot better. You know, we can
Yeah.
do better.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, can I
Uh,
just chip in? Sorry. I think it's a mindset thing. And definitely what CC said, it's about misplaced priorities. My sister and my brother, because I have so many investments, I didn't want to spread myself thin having another property. They've bought a property together. My brother's based in the US, yet both of them have come together and they're buying properties and they're renting them out. So you can do it as a family. It's just having the mindset and having the education. But you need to understand, I remember talking about wills and life insurance to our community. And I know how people respond to that. God forbid, don't say that. And I say, do the necessary preparations. If you have children, have a will. If you have property, put it in trust. If you're working, have life insurance. These are all the things that we really need to educate ourselves. It's not just about property, it's in every aspect when it comes to educating ourselves about protecting yourself and your family for future generations.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. Shout out to Tegju, my beautiful sister, Tegju Madi. Tegju said, I have a small circle here in the UK and Nigeria where we use such a model for investment. God bless you, my sister. That's a good one. And Dr. Adama is creating trouble right there in the chat. Also, my baby girl, Abby said, have a family mortgage. Have a family mortgage. Okay, have a family mortgage with my simply. Oh Jesus! Mona, don't call me. I know they do business again. Mona, leave me. Have a family mortgage with my siblings, and that's what we use some of the money my mom life insurance paid out.
Exactly. You see?
Oh, smart
You
girl!
see?
I tell you.
Exactly.
Then Dr. Abi, Dr. Dr. Adama being Dr. Adama. Now only God could deliver this Dr. Adama, I swear. Dr. Adama say, Beno, even if cancel, I no go follow you count money, no vex. You get why. And then she now went further and said, Sisi, we lack the credibility. If I tell you my story, you go laugh. Let every family member count their own money. Just say it respectfully. These are the problem. These right here are the problem. Black people, you can never get us to do things together, but you can get many of our people to go and put money in LSSCC or what they call that stupid business that just come all of them now.
Oh yeah, I forgot the name of it. Yeah.
So we have bigger problem in our community. We don't work together, and we have this financial power. I see it happen here all the time. I just laugh. This LSSC crazy shit that they are dealing with right now. Somebody introduced that nonsense thing to me. Was it 3 months ago, or 2 months ago?
Really?
Oh, the way she introduced everything, it was so sweet. In fact, they ganged me up almost like 5 people. Then we just collect money. This money just come. And I'm like, what business is this one? So I now ask them, okay, I'm interested, but I will ask some question no, because they are actually recruiting. So I'm like, can you tell me where this business is located? Oh, China. It's in China. You rent scooter. When you collect that scooter, the scooter is working. You go open, you own it on your app. You own it. You make 60 something a day. You close it back. When more time they give you money, I say, oh wow, that sounds so sweet. So none of you know where this business is located. It's just in China. So this scooter that you are buying scooter, you are ready to this scooter you are buying. Did you take your eye to see this scooter? No, they will show you. You will see when you go to their website. It's there. Everybody is doing that. I say, oh, very nice. So I now said, okay, so what is the mode of payment? What bank are they using? Which bank will I put the money or transfer? No, there is one app. You would download the app. Now for that app, now we they do everything. That's okay. What's this app? Oh, look at it. They call it Coinbase. I'm like, blood of Zachariah. I look into their eyes and I notice that these folks don't even know what they are dealing with. Until I now say, did you guys know that Coinbase is a crypto trading platform?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The money you put them, you go enter from you put them, you go Bitcoin, you go send the coin. When you get your money, you go that coin, you convert them. Then I said to myself, should I tell these folks what's going on? I should just Shut my mouth. So I said, it sounds good. It sounds good. Okay. Have you received money? Yes, we received money. Look, he did my Coinbase. Let me show you. I said, did you transfer this money to the bank? Yeah, so I transferred one time, but another one is still coming. My blood was hot, knowing me, because there's something about me. I can't pretend when I say you are drowning. So I just say, okay. Because all these 4 or 5 of them now, they are trying to convince me so bad. I now say, okay, here is the thing. When you collect the next payment, just show me, make I see the money enter your account. In fact, I will do the $10,000 package. They now leave me alone. Say, Chebe, you go do, come on. I will do it 10K. Okay, even if I don't do 10K, I go do 5 for myself, do 5 for my wife. At that point, I just want them to leave me the fuck alone, because I knew what was going on. So they left me. The next day when I now saw the person that is president, I now tell her, I say, please, all the people you are bringing into this thing, go back and tell them, say, this business, it be like gambling, no, it can crash you. Not give them assurance. So this is not business. This is a scam. This is pyramid scheme. A business you can't even trace the source, no headquarter or anything. Don't do it. My sister, that was when I now saw the number of Nigerians that are invested into this bullshit. The number is scary. I'm being honest with you. It's scary. From Houston to Dallas to Austin to everywhere. They even have offices. They have all different type of people who have offices, who are claiming age. Like, Jesus. So with MMM, with all these schemes, how come black people, we Nigerians, we are not wise yet? And then when I look at the people doing this business, black folks, Africans, now them play this I pass. I say, Jesus. I guess the people who are much, the people that they target are always the working communities, the one that have money that can invest.
Mm-hmm.
So I told the lady that I won't lie to you, I'm not going to invest too, because this thing will crash. And when you want to crash, you people will not know. You see all those money they are paying you now. It is the money they are collecting from other people registry that they are giving you the $60. Then they will start working with you. They will tell you, okay, now we are moving to another. In fact, I don't know that Nigerians can be so stupid to fall for a Chinese man scheme. I can't get it. Until they gather them. Smart than now we hear say, a website crash. The first day I hear website crash. I'm supposed to go work for that unit where the person say, I tell my supervisor, I beg, you will carry me go another unit. That was it. 1 week later, their money don't burn now. So I'm just saying this for you to know that something is wrong with us, black people and Nigerians. We easily give our money to people that will scam us, but we can't bring our money, pull it together and do something for ourselves. Now we go take our hands, scatter the whole thing. We pump money into unnecessary bullshit stuff. And we have that financial power. In this America now, we have a lot of Nigerians that to come together and contribute $1,000 towards an investment is not a big deal to many of them. But they want to say, but they will start from the leadership. Once they hear say, Nkena, buy your nine, go be president, it don't finish. Some of you just say, that Nkena, man, when I look at his eyes, you can't trust that eyes, man. You don't finish. So I'm just saying, please, we have to do better. Investment is the right way to go. Indians, Chinese, they are doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Now they walk our butt off every time because we can't invest. Thank God, Honey Baby's here now, a realtor. If you tell 200 Nigerians now in the UK there where you did, if you tell them, say, okay, work on contributing at least $2,000, 2,000 pounds within 12 months, 200 Nigerians contribute 2,000 pounds within 12 months, that's going to be 400,000 pounds. Use it to invest in with 1 or 2 properties. It go begin to bring money. After 2-3 years, you say they won't buy it. But 10 Nigerians now say, hey, one business deal. That business, if you put 20,000 pounds. Whoa, within 1 month, you go collect 150,000 pounds. The Nigerian don't dare you for your DM. Hey, when are we starting this business? Until we start Nigeria, I won't know. He's just thinking of that 200,000. Sorry, I don't want to derail today's show, but it's
No,
just.
I understand.
And can I just say something in terms of the
Go on, Cece.
So I know nobody asked, but I think this is a really important question. Maybe we can delve into it more when I come back to do our segment, Uncle Ben. It's how do you stay relevant? For example, in the corporate sector or even just in work in general, as a woman, if you've decided to take maternity or you've been out of business for a while. Okay. So for myself, I'd say I'd say there's 5 main things that you can do to still be very relevant and still employable in terms of still kept in the minds of your employer for promotions and things like that. You need to stay in contact with your workplace. When people go off on maternity leave, it's an opportunity for you, obviously, to have your bonding time with your child. But if you're somebody who's still really passionate, you're still very hungry, you want to grow within a company, you need to keep in contact. So in the UK, we have something called KIT days, which is keep in touch days. So when you're on maternity, you get about 10 of those where your employer can contact you and, you can contact your employer just so that they're not bombarding you with work-related things, because legally they're not allowed to do that. But if you say, I would like for you to get in contact with me for things like important stand-ups, like in the company, maybe when things are happening like organizational changes, if there's like system changes, there's specific training, you can use those days to be available for those trainings so that when things are happening in the company, you're not out of the loop after 1 year or 9 months. Okay, you still stay very relevant. You can use those days for professional development. Set aside and say to your manager, look, I've got these amount of days. I'd like to use one of the days or even half a day to come in, do some, do training online, and they'll facilitate that for you to keep you up to date. In the UK, you still, even though you're on maternity leave, you still accrue holiday. So you're still entitled to your holiday leave. Here, most holidays like 20 days to 25 days, paid annual leave. So even though you're off, you're not working in the office anymore, you're on maternity leave, you're still entitled to those days. You can utilize those days to come in for events, organizational networking, training, anything like that. I think the most important thing, people need to remember that when you working in general, a lot of the time, it's not the skills that you have that get you ahead. It's the people who know you in the business.
Yeah.
And the people who like you in a business. So that's one thing that people think, I need to be the most educated. I need to be. Most time, it's the people who are the most educated. They're not getting opportunities because people don't know who they are.
Yeah.
It's the people that are having conversations with the people in the cooler. You're having the conversations with the CEO, so-and-so. They can say, oh, yeah, I know that guy, Ben. He works in this department. You're known. You're the face. You're around. You're talking to people. Those are the people that are promoted. It's not the people who have all the skills and are doing all the accreditations. That's just the unfortunate thing about the life and just work in general. I've seen it happen. The people who get promoted are people who are going down the pub on a Friday night.
Totally. Yeah.
They're not people who are putting in the hours and staying late in the office. They're not. Because most people don't know who you are. So keep relevant and stay connected in your company, and also make connections with people in terms of mentors in the business, so that you also outside of your business, so that you have allies. So for example, if there was ever any issues in terms of, let's say, like an HR issue, you have somebody at a senior level who's respected within your field who can back you up, okay, because they know you. But if it's just within your internal team and there was a problem and you don't have the leverage in terms of the skills and the people who can support you, it's a dead on arrival, as people say. So those are just some of my tips, but it's all about office politics. Play the game and be in it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Thank you.
I think Uncle Ben, everything she said is what I said before. I said to you, there's office politics, and I definitely said have allies. You need to have allies in the workplace. Exactly what CC said. And one thing I will say in regards to an example, I remember when I was trying to apply for a particular role in a brokerage firm, I didn't have any brokerage firm experience because I only had investment. And you know what this lady said that worked there? It doesn't really matter if you don't have the experience. Try to get her to like you. they will train you. So it's everything that CC said is not necessarily about your experience. It's that they like you. Like CC said, a lot of people that are promoted is not based on their actual skill. It's the fact that they've networked. They are liked by the CEO, liked by the senior manager, and that's the person that will promote them, not based on their skill. The fact that they're likable. You have to play the office politics to win.
Thank you, my sister. Wow, we can talk like this till tomorrow, but I still have a second show. But we're gonna continue to do this. All my sisters and my brothers who are professional here, I know you will do us that favor. You will always be our special guest so that we can learn from you. I haven't been to London, but I can tell you right now, I can scam somebody in London because now I know Canary Wharf. Now I can tell somebody I work in Canary Wharf. My office is in Canary Wharf just because we share together here. Thank you very much. Uncle AB say, leave matter. Our people don't know and and don't like to work as a group.
We need to do that though. We need to work as a community.
He said, I don't know why. Forget money. Even as students, our younger adults don't like working in groups. It's beyond money. Something is wrong. Honestly, something is wrong with us. Sister Tegumade say, even if you did tell them, they will not listen. No, our people, when they want to scam them, they are usually like, goat, we no go hear word. That's how our people be. They would rather give those money. I've lost count of how many times Chinese people are scamming us. Chinese. Chinese. Hey. Okay. Sister Yinka said, if we as Africans in diaspora come together to invest collectively, the exponential growth will be mind-blowing. Just imagine the wealth, innovation, and opportunities it will create. I swear. That's why I said we need deliverance. I'm telling you.
I'm fasting.
A lot of things is going on right now. And I've been warning the people in my circle that, look, you guys are investing in so many things right now that they are bringing to you guys, but you don't see what is happening exactly. They don't see it right now. Many investment right now is targeting Nigerians in America. I don't know if they are doing the same thing in London or Canada, but let me just say it. A lot of all this investment, all this long-time investment. Oh, when you invest, did you know if you put this money here, after 30 years, it will become this, it go big, it go do, and our people will just buy it without doing their due diligence. And then I always tell them, when you look at the people who dominated this investment scheme, you see that Nigerians are almost 85 to 90% of the people. What does that tell you? An Indian, a Chinese, American. These are the people who will be at the top and they will bring this investment idea to you folks. And once they start, the people they target are usually Nigerians. I usually tell them, say, una no dey suspect anything. Has it occurred to you guys that it is because they know many of you come to this country and you work hard and you have savings? That is why you are the primary target. They know they here. And the Nigerians that they use to take gather us. Well, I'm just saying.
Can I say something, Uncle Ben? It's not just about, Northern Trust. That's where I used to work. Sorry, that building. Can you see Northern Trust? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what I was going to say, it's not even about the fact that they know that Nigerians work very hard and normally have surplus cash. It's also the fact that it's very much known that we want wealth by any means necessary. And so we're willing to not do our due diligence because we want to be millionaires or want quick cash. And that's probably another reason why they target Nigerians, because there is this mindset in our community, by any means necessary, I will not question it.
They know we are gullible people.
Unfortunately, yeah.
They know we are very, very gullible people. That's just what it is. I'm just trying to finish many of these comments so we can leave. This said, We brag about being smart and intellectual, yet we are the most gullible. We are the most gullible when it comes to pyramid schemes. The MMM guys at are at Marriott Cronies. Oh, Sister Marriott. Okay. And they come for you. MMM. Anytime they chop my money, I'm coming for you, Sister Marriott. They said we love the get rich scheme, the get rich quick schemes. No one wants to build and play. No one wants to build and play the
A
long
long
term.
game. Yeah.
Absolutely, you are right. You are right, 100%. Netizen Global say straight bullet, don't hit me. Abi you they do MMM Netizen Global. Then Sister Yinka said, what I would suggest is start with your family. It could
Yeah.
be real estate, long time, and involve your children into it. Build, let them see you doing it. Yes, absolutely. Let them see you doing it. What happened? I know see I'm again. No. I'm going to big glasses, Milo. All right, build, let them see you doing it as they get older. Make it a family investment. Thank you. And this you be now by force. I want to stunt on my haters, pop a zoo, and use Moel to raise my hands instead of Don Pedro. If I catch you, the one where you they throw jab at me now. If I catch you, you go throw away money. You will be Jebu woman. Like, yeah, I trust my sisters here. Una smart pass that one. And Sister Inka say, if others won't work, yeah, okay, if others won't work with you, start with your immediate family. Have your children pay it forward by involving their own children. Generational wealth. Boom. That's what we're talking about. That exactly is what we're talking about. Chucky said, a year for the women, men just 3 weeks after having a. Yeah, I was going to comment on that, but I said I will leave it to my second show because this is cheating. When I hear say Canada, they give person 9 months to 12 months. Sister Mario said up to 18 months because when I born pikin. Really? Really? Women, you guys are cheating us. So, Chucky, this is what we are talking about. You guys are cheating us. Okay.
How is
God,
that the case?
God, there is God. There is God. Though. All right. Uncle Patrick said CC is 100% correct. You have to know the corporate officer. I got my last promotion by my boss. He said he needs only me for that position to the HR. Now, I see what Uncle AB is saying here. AB said, but see, the key is what if I am not good with office politics or what some people call emotional intelligence? To be real, a lot, our people are not too good at playing this office politics of a thing. They are so good, though. Many of them are good at it, Uncle AB. There are some of our people that will be saying now guy office now that they sleep. Now then go even do amebo for you. But I get what you are saying, Sha.
Then I think you have to. The thing is, if you want to succeed in a corporate world, you're going to have to learn. We're not always good at everything. You have to, like I said to you, if it is a lot of office politics in the corporate world, and if you want to succeed, then you have no choice but to learn.
But honey, babe, it's a matter
Just being real.
It's a matter of principle. I'll give you an example now.
Okay.
I get what Uncle AB is saying here. I'm one of the people where we say if I work somewhere, it take before that they pick me for anything. It take. Even sometimes I have to bully them into recognizing me to give me what belongs to me. You know why? I am blunt and I don't kiss ass. So
it's not kissing ass, it's networking, because like I said, even in the job, even in like the property sphere, I'm constantly going to things like what CC invited me to and what she mentioned when she spoke. I'm constantly in different environments, in different networking events, and I've had to learn how to articulate myself, learn how to speak to different people. It's something that you have to learn, and I think if you really want to succeed, you have no choice. It's just it's learned behavior. I just think that you just have to learn. You're dealing with different people, you're dealing with different people, CEOs, clients, project managers. You have to learn the office politics.
I agree with you, my sister, but the way they are playing it now, it all boils down to kiss ass.
No, I beg
One,
to differ. I beg to differ. Networking, like I said, is not
honey,
kissing off. It's
no, 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 no. Honey, babe.
making yourself known, like CC said, having conversations. A lot of people, like I said, for instance, Dyson and people like that, and people that started, for instance, Amazon, in order to get their initial investment, they networked. That networking event was that one thing, and that one person they spoke to about their business idea, that one person said, you know what, I'll bet on you, I'll make the initial investment. And fast forward, Amazon is the way it is, or Dyson is the way it is. You have to network.
I agree with you, honey babe. If I can just ask you this question.
Sure.
What's the difference between corporate networking, because you want promotion and all of that, and ass kissing? You know the difference between the two?
Networking is like literally, like I said to you, you get along with everybody.
Mhm.
You get along with everybody, because normally what will normally happen when they now decide there's a vacancy, they will normally always ask you, especially if it's an internal job and they don't necessarily want to promote from outside. They will normally have a conversation, whether it's HR or the managers.
Okay,
Who
then
do you
ask
think?
kissing.
Who would you recommend? And it's normally the person that is spoken about the most, the person that's the most likable, because everybody has seen them, whether they go to every single every single pub event, every single work occasion, they're always around. You see this particular person all the time. That's normally the person that they will mention. This particular person, he's a nice guy. He's always willing to bend over backwards. He's always at the events. He's personable. He's likable. Those are the people that are mentioned, and those are the ones that be mentioned in future promotions. It's not about kissing ass. You have to be relatable. Like I said, I can speak. Obviously I'm from the Nigerian community, but I have a lot of Caucasian friends. I have a lot of Asian friends. I'm multifaceted, that I'm able to be a chameleon, and I'm able to network in different environments, in different communities and different ethnicities. You need to learn to do that.
Thank you, honey babe. But you haven't explained ass kissing.
Ass kicking is basically yes sir, yes sir.
No.
For no, but ass kicking is. I think Cece, is Cece still there?
I'm still here.
But babe, can you answer the question? I don't tire.
I think at the end of the day,
Sorry, honey babe don't know the difference between ass kissing and networking. But
we agree to differ.
I think ass kissing is, if you're networking, you obviously have a skill set that is useful. You're trying to build the connection. If you're just an ass kisser, that just means you're gonna do any and everything to get ahead. You want to be everybody's friend, and that type of person can be annoying. There's a big difference. If you're somebody who knows that you have the skills, you may not necessarily be the most experienced, but you have a way of building relationships, being able to blend in other groups. For example, maybe you work in marketing, but you also have a relationship with the sales team. You also have a relationship with the corporate functions. Just because you're likable, you're personable, and you can associate with them, they're more than likely you're like the go-to person in between those different organizations.
Exactly.
I think it's just more so that in terms of ass licking. Ass licking is just somebody who goes around, oh, I can do this, or I can do that, is willing to climb over anybody to get ahead. That's not networking. Networking is just leveraging the maybe lack of experience that you have by building your network in terms of the people that you can associate with within a business. And in turn, hopefully that can be like a kind of an asset to you in terms of future promotions or collaboration. A lot of the time it's through the collaboration, because they'll remember you that, oh, when we have this project, oh, I worked with Anne-Marie in finance. Let me pull her. Oh yeah, I know the girl. I know Anne-Marie from finance, and I might be in marketing. Yeah, let's get her on board. And from there, you've built that relationship where maybe necessarily you wouldn't have.
Right.
I think maybe it's the way that I said it. I think CC really kind of said what I was saying. Like, for instance, I remember talking about my property business, and one gentleman at church said to me, I'm struggling to sell my property. I need, can you view it? It's because I've been talking about it and making myself personable whenever he needed help. He suddenly remembered me that, okay, I'm struggling to sell a property. I need to speak to Honey Babe. So it's like CC said, it's not kissing ass. It's not, basically backstabbing or doing anything you can to be the person in front. It's about leveraging your knowledge. It's a commodity. Networking is about trading each other's experience, trading each other's skill set. So I'm experiencing property and I educate someone in property. They remember me and maybe will refer me to a potential client. It's that type of thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This was supposed to be a 2-hour show, but because we are learning, it takes 3 hours. Thank you very much for that clarification.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my own thing is just when you see somebody who got promoted or occupying a position, they lack the skills. Know that that is your ass kisser.
Okay.
But when you see people who got promoted, even though they laugh, they play with everybody, but you know that yes, this person can do this job. You know that that's somebody who is doing exactly what Honey Babe and Sissy is talking about. In nursing, professor, we see this a lot. In nursing, nursing is all about experience and techniques and knowledge. But when you see some people, when they put them for some position, now when you get emergency, now you go no say, oh, more, this one no even know jack. And yet, now he be your guy. Anyway, this is a very fantastic conversation. Thank you everybody for participating. Sister Marriott, it be like say my baby no they do the work where I say me do for me, because you are still throwing jab, throwing blow. Yeah, Mario, why are you like this to your law? Mario said, I am not good. I am not good at office politics. I am not interested in career ladder. Money is why I work, and I'm happy to change for it. I'm done with you, Sister Marriott. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to when you and I will talk backstage, and then we can have a segment where you can also help our people know how to source for job right
Yeah,
there.
definitely. I think it will help a lot of people.
For instance, now I see Leah and logged in. Like play now. Leah said, okay, nice to put a face to the name. I think I saw Leah say something earlier. Yeah, this one. Leah said, is that Leah or Lean? Lean and logged in. That's what it is, not Leah. It's Lean and logged in. Sorry. I said, Abego, I'm looking for work in MSc Data Analytics UK, early Nix. Leah, Lean and logged in. I think you may have to be more conversant here. Let sisters and brothers get to know you. I don't live in UK, but God works miraculously. Somebody like Chucky is here, Abby is here, Sissy is here, Honey Babe. I see Tejumade is from UK. There are a lot of people from UK who are on this platform, D-Day UK. So these are people you can talk to. Just ordinary say, guy, try here, try there. It can work. Please, MSc Data Analytics is not easy. These are the tech people who want to keep all
stuff.
No, I told you, I like tech people. I like tech people more than finance people. People
really?
like Babe. Yeah. People
what
like
do we do to you that you don't like us?
They get all the money, but when it comes to spending, now that time you go know the meaning of prudence. That is when they will show you what prudence is all about. People like Honey Babe will tell you, okay, I remember one time we have a conversation when I tell Honey Babe, say, okay, Honey Babe, as a husband who is taking care of everything, a nice man, you know him, you know issue. He just hangs somewhere and he call you and say, hey, babe.
Oh my gosh, are you seriously going back to that one?
Can you send $3,000? Honey Babe, nearly won't bust my belly and say, what do you need it for? Why should I send it? That is
no, Brother Ben, it's a natural reaction for, if someone asks you for money, the natural reaction is, you need to tell me what it's for. And I think you're being a bit harsh on me. I did say at the end of our conversation, I would eventually give it to him. Didn't I say that?
Honey Babe.
As someone who works in finance, what response would you expect?
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Cece. Thank you so much. I think you said it all.
What the money's for.
I'm telling you, all my friends that work in finance, they tell them, I say, I know they took bad una. These guys are in money. If you see they get investment, they will get proper, get everything. But to spend money, blood of
Well,
Zachariah.
the thing is, we can't be wasteful. So obviously, I work with numbers. Cash management was one of the roles I'm in. So we obviously need to, be careful with cash. So we're gonna obviously question what is the cash for. It's
Okay,
simple
no
good
wahala.
cash management.
No wahala. But when you see IT people, don't you see my Abby? Even without telling you, go no say, if you roll with Abby go take enjoyment, finish you. People do anything IT. Those people, they like enjoyment. They like to work from home. They are so lazy, and they in fact, because they are home, that's why they are lazy. But when it comes to
What do you
spending money,
mean
they get
that
energy.
we're lazy? Do you know how many hours I put in more hours than somebody in the office because I work from home?
Because you work from home,
Can you stop,
exactly.
Uncle Ben? It's been a good show. Don't start.
CC.
Don't start.
Of all the sisters that I have on this platform, you and Dr. Adama have spent more time vacationing than the time you spend at work. What are you telling me?
Because I work remotely. If you work remotely, all you need is internet connection on your laptop.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. I don't need to be fixing an office plugged into my monitor.
And
I can work anywhere.
Thing, when you work from home, you work longer hours. I remember
I work longer hours.
I used to log on at 7:30 sometimes. I would literally wake up, get dressed, and I'll be on my computer by 7:30 because you're at home. You don't have to deal with the commute. So I used to work a lot longer hours when I was remote working.
All right.
And because some of my team are based in Taiwan, I have to stay online until the evening, and I work longer. I start later, but I work a little bit longer.
You people should leave studio because the second show is both.
Yes, sorry. We're going to drink water. Come back to your ass.
We have to do second show.
Ben. Thank you, honey, babe.
Everybody.
Thank you, Felicity. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you, guys.
Everybody.
Thank you for being gentle with me. I have very nice questions.
Everybody, please help me appreciate our special guest today, our honey babe.
Thank you,
at least you guys can see that honey babe is so honey. She's a sweet sister. I think the two people I fought the most on this internet space is Sisi and honey babe. No,
really?
me and Sisi, we don't fight. No, me and Sisi, we they fight. Why me and honey babe, we they argue? That's the two things. I fight with Sisi, I argue with honey babe. But I always tell you guys that everybody has a way of expressing themselves. Sometimes when people are trying to send a message across and it is not being well received, it can be frustrating at times. And then look at it, the way this person is talking. No, but you see, I have conversation with Tony Babe for 2 hours and I literally feel like I don't want it to finish because
I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for allowing me to be on the show. And Uncle Patrick, are you happy to see my face? He said I should show my face. I've now showed my face. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. And if you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions, please do. I think Uncle Ben will put the link for my website and it should have contact details so you can easily contact me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you so much for embracing me and allowing me to talk about my business and everything. Thank you so much, guys.
God bless you. I'll see you in the next one if you are still awake. Bye-bye for now.
What time is that one?
I will check to see if nobody in our community is going live, then I will schedule it. I'm off today and unfortunately I'm so jobless because my kids, they don't collect money for my entire, so they did most of the thing I want to do. The only thing I have to do is I want to mow my lawn and that's it. But after that, I really want to discuss this all these bad blows going on in Nigeria. I think something is happening between Very Dark Man and Fina, and a lot of people are not getting what is going on. They are not seeing the lesson. So I wanted to address it after this. But let me check our community. If MOP, Momo 5, or Auntie B don't go live around this time. Majorly MOP, Momo 5. If they are not going live, then we can have that conversation. But thank you, honey babe. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna go now, but thank you so much, guys. It was a real pleasure and I had fun. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. So lean and locked in. God bless you for that £5. That's a lot of money. You know, we Nigerians, when we see pounds like this, our eye they open. Right now, my eye is looking at that pounds like, oh man, this is pound stanley. Oh, whoa. God bless you. Please help me appreciate Lean and Locked In. Well, Lean and Locked In, just look at all the people you are seeing in the chat right now. I think almost half of them are in the UK, half in the US. So please, Lean and Locked In has MSc in data analytics. So please help me help him if you know anything. Abby is my baby sister too. She's in the UK, and I think Abby is in strategy or something. I think I even saw something Abby shared now. Yeah, I think Abby is in the strategy and analytics or something. So Abby, Chucky, Cece, please let us help our brother. Okay, it's not easy to go to school to get all these degrees and then searching for a job. That is one thing I don't like about IT at times. IT, sometimes to get the job they had. That's why I sit my butt down in nursing, because nursing, if you leave one job here, waka go the second facility, you don't get job. Even though the only problem is say the sheet where you go park for second facility, if he big part the sheet where you they park where you they come from, but the money go there. But anyway, logged and Lina Logged In, I wish you good luck. By grace of God, miracle will happen. I'm a Christian and I talk to my God all the time. I join my faith with yours. Something miraculous will happen in Jesus' name. Okay. So let's do this. Send a message to this number so that we can chat backstage. Okay, Lean and Logged In. Send a message to this number so we can chat backstage. And then I will not link you to anybody first until you and I will talk. And if my spirit tells me that, yes, this is my brother or my sister, I can trust him, then I will talk to my boss person first, CC. So CCDHR, maybe CC if you know IT companies too that are session. So God will show up for you. Thank you very much. So MOP say he's not going live, and I think I will check Mom of 5 if Mom of 5 have anything to go. If not, just give me like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. I'll be back, and then we do the second show. I think I just wanted to take a break so that make I see if my son is back home already. My son and my second daughter. They don't need me for anything, but those two are the one that determines what I do. As for my first daughter, that one no say my papa. The only thing is, so far, I no cross her path, she no cross mine. We are good. Guess are sweet, man. I think I need to send all these my girls to all these my stubborn sisters. People like Dr. Adava, people like Auntie Yinka, them CC, them D Marriott. I think I need to send my girls to them. In fact, CC, I'm sending blessing to you, CC. It be like say, now CC and blessing, and then feel live together. They are energy mash. I love that my BB because no matter how me with her quarrel, the next day she don't do my neck again. We don't do lovey. Oh yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the show I want to do next. I did a live show overnight, but there are several lessons here I think we need to extract. If Man of Prestige is free, we can run it together if you want, Baba, anybody that is free. But I want to do this show next. There are so many lessons here that people don't see. People are just attacking Fina or they are attacking Very Dark Man, but it's like they don't see the main issue here. Very Dark Man made this mistake, Fina made this mistake, but the real devil, when they're supposed to rob in block us, nobody is talking about it. So join me if you are free as we look at Nigerian game of betrayers. All right. This betrayal thing is so much in our community. So, but we're gonna look into that shortly. Thank you everybody for being part of this show. I appreciate you all. Just let me let you know that I always like this.
I don't want peace. I want problems always. I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government we're highly disappointed in them. due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not.
All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much. Chucky say something wrong with you, UB. Chucky, leave me alone, Baba. let me address my coronavirus guy. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, everybody. Mama 5, thank you. Mama 5, leave my boy alone. Mama 5. I see say Mama 5 don't go drag my boy Blockhouse earlier today. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now. Real fab.
Heartbeat matching the drums drive. Boy, I step on the dance floor. Wind your waist, bend down low. Like that to the world, let it show. We rock it, we flex it, let it flow. Dollars flying, catch a dream. Vegas nights a movie scene. From Lagos hustle to the strips gleam. This wedding's a vibe like you've never seen. Boy, I step on the dance floor. Wind your waist, bend down low. Like that to the world, let it show. We rock it, we flex it, let it flow. Dollars flying, catch your dream. Vegas